beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day.
Turn it up. It's Sports Day with Dan Day.
It really is a beautiful day here in South Florida, but that's not what we're worried about. We're hoping it'll be a beautiful night. As the two most exciting words, not true, in sports, because Vlad, you know the two most exciting words in sports are
world champion.
That's right. Second most exciting two words in sports, Game 7. Panthers, Maple Leafs, 7:30 tonight, Scotiabank up north. 77% confident that our Panthers are going to take this game, Vlad.
Why do you have a Luka Doncic percentage
why
of
are you
confidence?
doing that right now,
You said
man?
77. I didn't get it.
That's just the number that popped in my head. That's what's in my heart.
Okay.
If you're a Panthers fan and you're right now saying, I'm 100% confident, book it. You are stronger than I,
I
because
think a lot of these fans do think that.
and you know what? The Panthers have given you a reason
They're
to
the
think
defending champs. Come on, man.
and they've come up roses every time their backs are against the wall
And
or
you
anytime they need a big win.
And you got the guys. You got Bob. You got Chucky. You got Verhage. You got Barkov. You got Marshawn. You got the guys who've been there before.
I'm glad you bring that up, Vlad. Of all those guys, if only one of them can have the game of their life, or the game of their life, or the game of the season, who would you want it to be tonight?
I would want, obviously, Chuck. I would love to, Chuck to be the guy, but I really think this is a Brad Marchand game.
Oh,
I really think this is his game because he owns Toronto.
You threw me a curveball.
I've said this yesterday to you.
If I could have one guy tonight be the best guy on the ice, head and shoulders above everyone else, I'd want it to be Sergei Bobrovsky.
But I think he's been that the last 3 games.
No, but I'm saying it's
so like I'm expecting Sergei to be Sergei. I just need some guys to put the damn puck in the net.
I know. It's been a while since we've seen that. Of course, we got it.
No,
all
I don't want to
in.
say that we haven't. I mean, it's they just got shut
3
out
periods,
last
man.
game.
3
but-
periods is a long time. In
Oh,
the
they didn't
playoffs.
score in the third. Oh no, they did score in the third. But what I'm saying is,
Oh.
if you look at the goals in that game 5, 4 of them were by defensemen. So I like our forwards, our wing players.
No, we did not score last game.
Right. But I'm talking about
Yeah. Oh, and I understand that, but I'm saying 3
But-
periods in the playoffs is a long time, man.
no. Hey, getting shut. Hey, listen. Maple Leafs had 5 periods of being shut out.
I know, it's
So
so nice.
let's.
But if one guy can have a big time game tonight, if you can only have one, I mean, everybody plays well, everybody plays to their potential, but one guy just plays head and shoulders with
Yeah,
everybody.
but you know
I
what
want Sergei Bobrovsky
but-
because that means
No.
the man is standing on his head.
Did he
and
stand
no
on his
goals are
head
getting
on
through.
game 6?
And no goals are getting through.
Okay. No,
No.
did he not stand on his head in game 6?
I'll tell you this, Vlad. If Sergei Bobrovsky allows 0 goals tonight and plays the entire game, obviously the Panthers win.
Well, clearly he could allow. Guess what?
Math.
No. Well, even obviously, if he get up no goals, they should win because all they would have to do
All
is
right, we've
score
the
one.
longest game in history.
But what do we talk about in this game, and what we've talked about a lot in this series?
I don't want to hear deflections.
Exactly.
I don't wanna hear
So Sergei can play
bounces.
great, and all of a sudden a deflection off a player's skate and it's in. It's not his fault, but that's a goal.
That was the worst. Not this past Friday, but the Friday before, where he makes a great stop and then it bounces off our guy and goes in. It's
Right.
like,
Off
no,
Ekblad's skate, and that's it.
no. Do we know? I haven't heard anything about Evan Rodriguez yet. I know you said that was one of the keys to the game last game. Evan Rodriguez did not
You
play.
really could tell that they missed him beyond the ice.
You got to
in
tough
game
that.
6.
We're going to talk about that in the next segment. The Panthers are feeling the pressure. Paul Maurice actually had a really cool comment about Game 7, how it's exciting, but how guys also, whether they're hurt or not, really just go out there and give it their all and worry about tomorrow. And I hate to say this because it sounds like a real kind of jock fan thing to say. That's what they have to do tonight. It's Game 7. Worry about tomorrow. Put it all out there on the ice. Let the chips fall where they may, and we shall see. Got a couple hours away, 7 o'clock pregame right here on 560 WQAM, 7:30 puck drop, Scotiabank. This is Game 7. Of course, Toronto took that 2-0 series lead. We came back, won the next 3. They came back 1-1 on our ice. Whew. Nip and tuck. Buckle up. I finally figured out where I'm going to watch the game tonight, too, Vlad. Have you figured it out yet? Because remember yesterday, I got caught off guard because I thought we were going to win Friday, so I didn't have any plans.
I mean, you should have had plans the minute you realized they lost.
Well, the Guinnesses at Duffy's and Plantation kind of hindered that a little bit.
Shout out to Duffy's Plantation.
Always great. I'm not going to be there tonight, though.
Uh-uh.
Do you know where you're going to be watching the game?
I got to give a shout out to Sabrina.
That greatness at its best.
Of course. I don't know yet, bro. I don't know. Maybe Twin Peaks in the Pines. Maybe. You know,
Not bad. Not bad.
maybe.
Do you get food at Twin Peaks?
Yeah.
I don't
And
think I've ever
drinks.
eaten there. I've been there, hell, many times.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna go hang out with Nathan and Joe and watch the game. It's in my neighborhood, and might do a little bit of cooking before, and then walk over and then hang out. We'll see, though. I don't know. I'm dealing with a lot right now, man. Dealing with a lot. We'll see. I'm just more nervous, I think, right now about this Panthers game. Nervous and
I'm
excited.
not nervous, bro.
I'm eager and nervous at the same time.
Not nervous. Just ready to see them win and move on and take on the Carolina Hurricanes on Tuesday night.
That would be right. The Carolina Hurricanes. And that would be in Raleigh.
Carolina. Yeah, Panthers, unfortunately, will not be
hosting
a game at home. I mean, have home court or home ice in any of the playoffs.
In the
I
Eastern
believe.
Conference. They might have Edmonton if they meet Edmonton again in the finals, but I'm not, once again, carriage in front of the horse. We're not doing that.
Right.
We'll worry about that.
But that would be an awesome rematch.
That's the only one that
I think I ain't gonna hold you. That's the one. That's the one that's gonna.
Tonight's got me a little spooked, Vlad.
But you know what? We can't look for. We can't look
I'm
ahead.
not doing that.
Let's focus on tonight. Game 7,
7:30.
I expect Bob to be Bob.
Oh, thank you.
And he's been that the last 4 games.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, yeah, 3. Yeah, he was like that. Game 4, last 3 games. Game 4, Game 5, Game 6. He's been unbelievable.
So it is.
He's only given up 3 goals in the last 3 games.
And I mean, he's been peppered, and the ones that have gotten through have been extremely unbelievable shots.
And low key, he should have had a shutout in Game 5.
Yes, absolutely. But when you're up by 6, you kind of,
you might, you might
start looking.
Your
focus gets a little out there, and I
he wasn't focused.
You should always let's say it in English. He wasn't. Your focus gets lost a little bit when you see 6-0 on the board. Like, I'm not gonna hold you again. Hold on. You should always be playing like it's Game 7 with 1 minute left and tied. Like, no, okay, it's okay.
I'm saying if you want back-to-back shutouts, you could have done, But nonetheless, it's still expected for him to be who he's been the last 2-3 seasons. And it's just time for these guys to really put the puck in at the net, bro.
Yeah,
they need to put the puck in front of the goalie, bro. I don't think Wall can stonewall them, pun intended, 2 games in a row.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. The only thing tantamount to playing your best game of the season so far is getting in early or getting the first goal in the game.
Well, that arena is going to be electric.
You put that first goal in the back of the net.
Yeah,
buddy.
There's going to be you're going to see a lot of them. It's going to be a lot of white and blue.
Temper down.
A lot of white and blue, and they have that Maple Leaf Plaza.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I will give credit to the Toronto fans, like with the Raptors and the Maple Leafs. They go out to that plaza and get buck wild. Big city, though. Well, I mean, we're a big city too.
Melting pot city.
It's
a great city.
Never been.
They love their teams, and obviously this is all they've been talking about since Friday, like 24/7 on all the TSN, Sportsnet, all the local radio stations there. What was it, like the K-Fan, not 590, something like that? Yeah, they all loved it.
That would be my guess, Vlad. Of course, I'm not knocking the Toronto Maple
Hockey
Leafs
night
fans.
in Canada.
I'm not knocking the Maple Leafs fans because I do think the Toronto fans in general are very passionate and very strong. I think if they had to choose between either one of their babies, a Maple Leafs championship or a Raptors championship, they're going Maple Leafs.
You've seen a Raptor championship.
I know, but I'm saying, like, if they could have one or the other,
they've seen it all except for the one.
It's where the Hockey Hall of Fame is.
Right, the sport that they're known for.
Right.
And where the Hall of Fame is.
And to bring it back to Canada, hopefully we win that tonight. We'll see. So it's Game 7 Sunday, Vlad, 7:30. Of course, Pampers. We got Pampers.
Hopefully they don't crap the bed.
Please do not throw Pampers on the ice tonight if you're at Scotiabank. Panthers and Maple Leafs are going to do battle in Toronto at 3:30, though. A little, not even an appetizer. I'd call it one of the 2 main courses. Thunder Nuggets. They look to extend their season. Denver's Aaron Gordon has a grade 2 hamstring strain.
Oh, it's a grade 2 now.
Most likely will not play.
Yeah,
the reason I say most likely will not play is because you got to cover your bases, but
it was a grade 1. I heard they diagnosed it yesterday and they said he was doubtful to play on Sunday. And now that it's grade 2, it's definitely he's out of this.
And
game.
we've talked about how clutch he's been for Denver these past couple seasons.
And
much less this.
Not only that,
season.
they don't really go many players.
They don't go deep.
They go maybe 6-7 deep.
So if you're a Nuggets fan, your hope is that, and in this series, Jokic has gone off some games and they still lost, but you have to hope Jokic can just have one of those games where he just puts everybody on his back and carries the team.
But if you look at it, this league has been on fire with narratives. You know they haven't announced the MVP yet, right?
Maybe tonight, this afternoon.
I would definitely announce it right before the game.
Right after the game.
Right before.
If the guy that has won wins that
say
series,
Shea gets it, right?
Let's
and
say
they give it to
Oklahoma
him
City-
before, and Jokic would see so pissed
Oh,
he might summon the Hakeem Olajuwon from 95 and say and want that MVP award back. But if Jokic wins, that's the thing. Jokic wins, he's not gonna have a chance to if they lose today, he might not have a chance to celebrate it with his fans and everything like that.
You want real drama?
What's
If
that?
this were the WWE,
Oh,
it would
yeah.
be like, the MVP trophy is in the house. It'll be awarded after the game.
Oh, absolutely.
And then they would just ball out for, and then at the end they would award it to
Winner.
whoever won the game.
I would do it.
I mean, there's no rules that they can't. Where are the rules that say they couldn't do that if they really
I'm
wanted
surprised Disney hasn't even worked that out. I mean, ABC's doing the game today, so you would think that would draw so much interest. Yes, we will name the winner of the MVP of 2024, 2025 right after the game.
And what if they're like, so does the outcome of the game have anything to do with that? Just don't say anything. No,
No, it's been decided.
we're just gonna
just give me a wink.
Don't
Just-
even say that. Just say we'll award the trophy at the end of the game. That
Hey.
way, we don't need to answer your questions. It's a free country. Oh, that'd be sweet. The Dallas Stars punched their ticket to the Western Conference Finals, taking down President's Trophy winners Winnipeg 2-1 last night in overtime. Whew.
So what's telling me is not to have the best record in your conference.
You do
going
not
into
want to win.
playoffs.
You do not want to win
You
the
don't-
President's Trophy.
Never. I
Last
don't-
year was the Rangers.
When was the last time somebody's won that?
Oh, it's been over a decade. Remember the Panthers won it a couple years ago. They got bounced. Don't win the President's Trophy. Try to win a lot, but then start resting guys. So Dallas Stars move on. They'll play the Edmonton Oilers. That is going to be an epic matchup. Of course, the Carolina Hurricanes are waiting for the winner of tonight's game to see who will play them in the Eastern Conference Finals. Dolphins rookie, 7th-round quarterback Quinn Ewers has signed a $3 million deal with Panini America for exclusive rights to his trading cards. He also received his official number 14 Dolphins jersey last night at the NFLPA rookie premiere. Later in the show, we're going to kind of get into some Quentin Ewers stuff, not deeply, but this whole deal and kind of the journey that he's been on. Very interesting journey for Quinn Ewers. Interesting. Mario Cristobal says Carson Beck's elbow injury was a blessing in disguise because it gave him time to assess his career and decide to transfer to the U. Now, Beck had at one point in high school committed to Miami, but then, of course, he eventually ended up at Georgia. So it's kind of like his second go round with Miami in a way. Kind of. Canes baseball team fell to Notre Dame 12-2 yesterday. Miami will face Cal in the first round of the ACC tournament Tuesday at 9 a.m. So Canes baseball team kind of, in a way, bittersweet. There was a point where we didn't think they'd make the ACC tournament. Then at one point we thought, man, they might be a high seed in the ACC tournament. And now they're playing at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. And remember what we heard yesterday. It is a single elimination tournament. I don't know how I feel about that, Vlad. College baseball, single elimination tournaments. I like a little double elimination. It's baseball. What if the pitcher comes out and gets hot or one?
But aren't there many more teams
Right.
involved? So yeah, they have to go
It'll
that
take
way.
2 weeks to play if you have double elimination. Oh, well, we'll see. Maybe the Canes can get hot in this one and keep moving. You know who's not been hot lately on the old pitcher's mound? Sandy Alcantara. He gave up 4 earned
Yeesh.
runs over 5 innings, and 1 inning was really bad, as the Marlins fell to the Rays 4-0. Also no hitting, so that didn't help. The two finished up their series at 140 today. Sandy's trying to get back in shape, it seems like, man. It's been a not so great year for him. And I hate to point this out because I love Sandy Alcantara and I love the Marlins, so I'm about to tell you some bad news. Remember how much before the Tommy John injury we were saying Sandy was kind of struggling and we didn't know what was going wrong? Oh, we thought the pitching clock might be the issue. I don't know. We'll see.
Don't worry, somebody's still gonna make an offer for him.
Oh, you can't. Yeah, you got to. You got to, man. If you're a big time team looking for some depth in your rotation, it's a guy that I still believe that about mid-season he'll get back into form. Right now, it's been kind of tough sledding for Sandy Alcantara. Argentine winger Angel Di Maria is leaving Benfica. That's in Portugal, amid rumors that Messi wants him to play in Miami. Inter Miami did sign goalkeeper William Yarbrough. It is Florida Derby tonight between the Herons and Orlando City at 7. right there on Commercial Boulevard. Daniel Solana going to be joining us later this hour. He's going to kind of explain everything, but that would be a huge get right there. Angel Di Maria, great Argentine winger. Just won he won a CONMEBOL, Copa America, and of course a World Cup. Pretty much the second best player. Well, the goalkeeper was really good for Argentina, but one of the great all-time Argentine players. If he'd come play with Messi, whew, good stuff. Fort Lauderdale, St. Thomas Aquinas won its first state baseball title since 2018, defeating Gainesville's Buckholz High 8-3 in the 6A final. Scotty Scheffler, he's had a nice couple hours over there at the PGA Championship. He's in first place by 3 strokes right now.
Wait, how is that happening?
He has just been hot.
No, I get it, but I thought 2 p.m. was the final round was when he was going to start. Or is he starting now?
He's got a 3-stroke lead.
Was he at 10 under?
11 under.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's starting early.
Yeah, well, they've got all that weather. They've had weather issues.
That's okay. That's why. That makes sense. Okay.
Speaking of other, well, he's not a winner yet, but this guy did win earlier today.
No, he's just 11 under. He just finished third round at 11 under. He's going to tee off at 240.
Max Verstappen won the Emilia
Romagna finally
Grand Prix in Italy.
This has been a great week for Vlad. His guys won.
Journalism also won a thrilling race at the Preakness yesterday.
I heard it was a hell of a race.
It was.
Didn't watch it.
There's nothing better than not only watching a hell of a horse race, but also winning on a hell of a horse race.
Oh, yeah, you did. You took him?
Oh, yeah. Last minute, baby. It was like 7:04. The gates opened at 7:05. I put that bad boy in. Boom.
What were you getting? Was he was the favorite?
Yeah,
right?
it was like 3-1. So it wasn't anything crazy, but still, he came in second at the Kentucky Derby. Or third at the Kentucky Derby. So, never know. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. Nudity might be banned on the red carpet this year at the Cannes Film Festival, but costumes are not. In fact, someone recently showed up in a full turkey costume fit with a huge plastic turkey head.
Okay.
I don't know why they banned nudity.
I thought I saw nudity last night at the Vibes concert. This lady was wearing an unbelievable outfit. It just matched her skin color as well. I'm like, oh, thank God for the blue lace I saw.
I could believe there could be some nudity at a Vibes Cartel concert.
It was good.
Cannes, nope. That is kind of a bucket list to go to the Cannes Film Festival. I'm not going to go see any movies, but I'm going to go to the parties.
Oh, it's all this. Yeah, you're definitely going to be viral.
I'm on that boat.
Definitely going to the cruises, to all the parties with all the rich people.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're going to hobnob.
Oh, that's of course. Yeah. South of France. Daniel Solana going to join us in just a few minutes. But next, we're going to talk about, are the Panthers feeling the pressure tonight? Paul Maurice, pull us through. That is going to be on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
Go. everything you missed. Hurry.
Get it ready. The Panthers ready for an emotional, intense Game 7 against the Maple Leafs. It's Game 7. You got to put it all out there, whether you're hurt, whether you're tired. You got to worry about tomorrow. And this team, they've done it before. Last year in the Stanley Cup Finals, Edmonton Oilers roared back down 3-0, tied it up 3-3. You might think the pressure is on the Panthers, but they took care of business and hoisted the cup. Paul Maurice says, you want to win in 4. You do 100%. Maurice, of course, is 5-0 coaching in Game 7s. But Game 7s, you'll remember, those are the ones that are not, there are not a lot of them. Further in the playoffs, the more intense they are. But there's a freedom in Game 7. That's not anywhere else. Both teams, you got guys dealing with stuff, physical stuff. And they will say, I've just got to play one more game. Now, if they get to play one more after that, they'll deal with that then. But in the moment, in the warm-ups, whatever you're dealing with becomes far more mentally manageable because everyone's on the same page and ready to go hard. Game 7, razor thin, a little bit of pressure, but it sounds like Paul Maurice is ready.
I think that everybody's ready, man.
There's a freedom in Game 7, he says.
I mean, I guess if you're a veteran team who's been in Game 7s, you have the experience, you know.
He says you've earned it.
So you know what to, you've, especially him, he's 5-0 in Game 7s.
He says you earn it. Flat out, play as hard as you can, trust the process.
And winning it on the road is even more special to be able to, that means nobody's expecting you. You're in a hostile environment, bro. It's the whole city of Toronto versus you. And let's keep it a buck. It's the whole country versus you. And they don't like the Panthers in Canada.
You might say it's even more than that because you are the defending champion and you're from South Florida. There's probably some purists that don't exactly like that either.
Well, that's the reason why. And they've been, it's been a Florida team in the Stanley Cup the last 5 years, apparently.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, yeah. Everybody should be ready for this.
Panthers Aaron Ekblad says, bring your emotion, intensity, and focus.
And Friday after the game, if you listen to what Kachuk and Barkov were saying, they were looking forward to it. It wasn't like their heads were down. They know that Wall and the Maple Leafs, they made the plays in the third period to win the game. So now they just got to improve on that and get ready for tonight.
Sam Reinhart, all for one, one for all. We're all together in this. It says, I think more times you've been in a situation, the more comfortable you're going to feel from going through it together countless times. It's comforting. You know what you're going to expect out of the guy next to you. So you do your part, the guy next to you does his part, and so on and so on and so on. And you expect a positive outcome. This team doesn't look like they're shook, doesn't look like they're scared, doesn't look like they feel pressure. It looks like they're approaching this in a very professional manner. None bigger, though, than Game 7.
I know the reason why I'm very confident is for 3 main reasons. Our head coach, our goalie, our stars.
What about our captain saying this? This might help you a little bit. So, yes, we feel the pressure, obviously. But the motivation and pride that you have in coming to the rink excited to play, it's second to none.
Yeah, they feel the pressure of defending their championship, but I don't think they're really going to feel the pressure of Game 7.
It's going to be bananas.
I think it's going to be so much pressure on Toronto having home ice with the fact that after Game 5, the way they were manhandled, it was a beatdown, bro. It was really a shutout. Who cares about that meaningless goal they scored at the end, right? 6-1.
Don't worry.
So if you saw the reaction that all the Maple Leaf fan base had after Game 5, no one was expecting them to be there for Game 7. So that atmosphere is going to be crazy tonight. But it's nothing that the Panthers haven't seen
dealt with
over the last 3 seasons.
Don't listen to that. I was reading an article earlier. The Panthers were figured out in Game 6. Don't listen to that. You're never as good as your best game, never as bad as your worst game. The Panthers aren't figured out. The Maple Leafs
figured out how? Okay, let me ask you this: the first 2 games were high scoring. The Game 3 was deflected. Game 3 was won in overtime.
Game 4
was from Game 4 on to Game 6. The best play on the ice has been Sergei Bobrovsky. So what are we talking about? They figured him. Get out of here, man.
Both teams feeling the pressure. Who is going to make diamonds and who is going to crack? We're going to find out starting at 7:30 tonight right here on 560 WQAM. Another sporting event big to South Florida tonight. We got a Florida Derby coming up at Chase Stadium. We're going to have Daniel Solana join us next from Battered Herons podcast right here on Sports Day 560 WQAM.
I'm
ready to go for tonight. All the fun begins at 7 o'clock. That's when the pregame for the Panthers and the Maple Leafs will be on right here on 560 WQAM. But at that exact same time, we've got a Florida Derby happening over there at Chase Stadium on Commercial Boulevard. Ugh, Orlando City. I hate them so much. And Inter Miami, we're right now joined by Batter and Herons podcast, Daniel Solana. Daniel Solana, we'll get to the Florida Derby. We got big news possibly for Inter Miami. We could be possibly getting another huge Argentine player.
We could. Are you referring to Angel Di Maria?
That is who I am talking about. It's happening, right?
I mean, I don't know.
How old is he again?
Now, don't worry about his age.
Yeah, he's in his late 30s, guys. He's in his late 30s, but I still think he can offer something to this team if he does come. Now, the good news is it's already been announced that he's not going to be returning to Benfica. He'll be gone before the Club World Cup. The other good news is U.S. Soccer announced earlier this week that they will be granting the possibly 3 MLS teams if LAFC can beat America in the showdown on May 31st to decide the final Club World Cup spot. So it could be 3 MLS teams. They will be granted a special 10-day window between June 1st and June 10th to do to perform transfers so that they can reinforce themselves ahead of the Club World Cup. So that could be news coming up in the next couple of weeks, Dan and Vlad. But we also have other news. Jordi Alba has re-signed with the team through 2027. He announced that earlier this week. Just like it was speculated that Messi was 50-50. We knew, and we talked about it last week, that was absolutely not correct. Those reports were absolutely false. Messi, he's either going to resign or he's going to retire. That's what I'm saying right here. My bag is on the fact that he's going to resign, especially after this Jordi Alba news. And Jordi Alba mentioning that he hopes that Suarez, Busquets, and Messi resign. So I would be on the lookout for some Messi news, maybe in the next coming weeks of an upcoming contract re-sign. And hey, it's all looking up right now for Inter Miami off the field, gentlemen. It's on the field where we're looking at the problems.
Yeah, that was a bad trip last week, man.
Well, I mean, Bruce Arena's got it going over there. Former U.S. men's national head coach with the Quakes. They're the leading scoring team for goals, and they're pretty high up there in the West. So, but still, we're in Miami. But we're going to read into that Jordi Alba a little bit. You got to think, he's the first domino to fall, right?
That's what I tweeted earlier this week. I tweeted that he has to be the first domino to fall. Obviously, and the fans are against Suarez this year, and rightfully so. He hasn't been performing at the same level that he performed last year. So I don't suspect that Suarez is going to come back next year. I think this might be his final year. Maybe we can see Busquets come back at a discount. I don't think he's been worth the contract that he signed with the team. So if he comes back at a discount and then allows Inter Miami to sign other DPs next to Messi, I think that's really what's going to be reinforcing this squad coming into the 2026 season.
Getting back to Vlad's point, are we slumping right now? Or is it just a season?
I think it's part of the season, but I think you could call this a slump. I mean, they've only won 1 out of their last 4 or 5 games. They've gotten blown out a couple of times. I think the team is struggling. I think you can see Messi's frustration on the field. He doesn't stay on after the game. He was, arguing with referee Joe Dickerson at the end of last game, rightfully so, again, because there was a foul that Joe didn't call. Then he was shown a yellow card. You had to get Bruce Arena to kind of bring him off the field so that he wouldn't get shown a red card. So I can see the frustration coming from this team because of the results.
So you're telling me the opposing team's manager had to calm down Messi?
Yeah. You didn't see that?
He wouldn't get a red card? Nah, yeah. Come on, it was too late. I was probably watching that game. It was too late. But yeah, no, that's horrible. That's very un-Messi like. Like, that's a lot of frustration. I think he's starting to hear the critics.
I think so. And his play hasn't been that great over the last month as well. I mean, we've seen some spurts here and there, but overall, I mean, he hasn't scored the goals like at the clip that he was scoring them last season. We've seen him get the assists this season. He's always going to get those because he's a very unselfish player, but he's really suffering in the goal column. And really the whole team is. Without Suarez and Messi's production up top, they're having to find different avenues of where to get that offense from. Luckily, Tadeo Allende had a brace last game for the team. He got, his 2 goals. And then Maxi Falcon got one of the second fastest goal in club history at the 35-second mark when he headed away a goal off of the center by Jordi Alba. So, but really, this team is struggling in the defense right now. On the podcast, I've talked about this. I've talked about that the offense really sets up the defense, and the fact that they're not finishing these chances or at least getting shots on goal and allowing their team to reset is really hurting them, because the other teams have figured out that against the counter, Inter Miami has a huge weakness against the counter. And so they're just sitting back and allowing Inter Miami to play into their defense and then countering against them. And then they're getting a 3-on-2 counter or a 2-on-2 counter. And Inter Miami has shown that that's been their biggest weakness this season. The other weakness is playing out of the back. We saw that in the first goal for San Jose when Chicho Arango got that goal off of an Ustadi turnover, playing out of the back. But Inter Miami has suffered when teams have pressed them to play out of the back. And that's because Yannick Bright is not showing as that second defensive midfielder. He's kind of pushing up a little bit, and he needs to push down and come and receive the ball and take some of that oomph off of Sergio Busquets, who's being double covered in the midfield. So a lot of tactical issues for Javier Mascherano's squad. He really needs to figure it out, and today is a big game for them. So hopefully they figure it out and they can give their home fans a nice 3 points after today's game.
I was going to say, how do we get right in a big game? Because once again, this is a Florida derby. It is our most hated rival, the Orlando City Punks, as I like to call them. Nonetheless, how do we figure things out? Is it as simple as, man, we just got to get a couple of breaks our way, or do we have to maybe scheme a little bit differently?
I think it's got to be a combination of the both, gentlemen. It's got to be a combination of Mascherano has to find a different tactic. I think the fact that that Suarez coming back into the lineup is going to help them, because they'll have a true 9 in the lineup, and you won't have to see Messi play that false 9. So you'll have a player who's up top, who's going to be able to hold the ball, find out the players out wide. And I think really the difference today is going to be whether we see Fafa Picault back onto the field, because he's had the migraines for over a week. He wasn't able to to take part in the last couple of games, but he's a player who really stretches the field for Inter Miami. He really finds that pace out on the wing and plays really well with Jordi Alba on that left flank. So I would really love to see Fafa Picault start today in the starting lineup along with Leo Messi and Tadeo Allende and Luis Suarez on the offensive end. But other than the tactics, I think Inter Miami has had a little bit of bad luck this year. Unfortunately, when you don't finish your chances, the other teams do. And we've seen that happen this year. We've seen them dominate almost every game in and game out. And their issue has really just been finishing. They haven't been, as successful on the finishing end where their teams facing them have. And so I think you need a little bit of combination of both. You need a little bit of the tactic side and a little bit of luck to fall on your side. But look, this is a big game, and these 4 superstars have played in Clásicos before. So I expect them to step up just like they did last year when they put that 5-0 pounding on Orlando City. Luis Suarez getting, I believe, a hat trick, Messi getting a brace. So I do think that they're going to show up today. It's going to be on Sunday Night Soccer live on Apple TV, 7 p.m. The lights are going to be shining. So what a better way to finish up the weekend than not only with Inter Miami playing, but then you have Panthers Game 7 right after that.
Daniel, let me ask you this. Are the other MLS teams starting to not fear Inter Miami like they did maybe last season, and starting to, like you said, they're starting to see the weaknesses with the counter? Or is it like is it around the league like, oh, okay, this team with all the superstar, I mean, obviously with all the attention going to Messi, but is it like, okay, we can beat this team? Is it more of a what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's like, when you beat the Chiefs, you know what I'm saying? When you beat the big teams, is it an ego booster, or no? This is expected because they're not as good as many people thought coming in.
No, I think it's definitely an ego booster, and the reason why is if you see, especially when Inter Miami goes on the road, gentlemen, the opposing teams treat the game like if it's the Formula One was coming to town. They have concerts. I mean, did you see Steve Aoki played a concert the day before the San Jose Miami game?
Well, Daniel, as simple as this, you can see it if you're watching at home. I'm going to show some video of Lionel Messi. Watch how big this crowd. This is outside his hotel in San Jose.
First of all, they got to get better hotels for these guys. Come on, man.
Is that a cool area?
I'm just saying, he's like literally the view is him looking at the street. You can't do anything.
Crowds there. Daniel saying.
I mean,
It looks like the Pope.
No disrespect.
No disrespect. Okay, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he looks like the Pope out there. I mean, it just goes to show you that all these teams, even though I think most teams have found a blueprint to kind of figure out Inter Miami's tactics, and they're playing them a lot closer than what we saw last year. I do think if they go ahead and get a tie or a win out of it, it's a huge ego boost because you're playing against guys like Messi, Busquets, Jordi Alba, and other guys who have played in big games in South America, big games in Europe. And so I think it's a huge ego boost if your team can come out and tie or win. And really, like I said, each team, whenever they receive Inter Miami in their hometown, is treating it like if it's a Formula One weekend with all the events. And I mean, you saw it right there. Messi waving out the crowd like he was the Pope.
But I think what was this year 3 of this of Inter Miami, this third season with Inter. I guess the fear factor, maybe the novelty starting to wear off, maybe of the fact that it's it's Messi. Like you've seen him for 3 seasons now. I mean, he's still a badass, but you played with him for 3 seasons. You can feel like, okay, I'm maybe playing him in the his while he's in his back 9 years, but I'm still playing against him. I've played against him 3 years now. There's not that fear factor, that awe factor anymore. That's what I'm thinking. That's why teams are able to compete with them, and that's why they've struggled over the last 5-6 games.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think maybe there's no Messi aura around the league. Obviously, for the fans, there is because they sell out every stadium. But when it comes to the actual players, most of these guys are professionals. They're in their mid-20s. They've been playing professional soccer for a while now, and they understand the psyche of the game, and they understand that they're facing Messi, and they really can't have that fear. Like you said, he's been in the league for a little bit now. So most of these players have at least faced him one time. So maybe that aura has worn off, but that's on Messi to bring it back, right? That's on him to come back, score a couple of goals, have a couple of those Messi type games and make the team scared again. Because if he continues at the way he's going, then players are going to be facing him the same way. I saw it in the San Jose game. I've seen it in other games before. All they're doing is crowding him. And once he gets 2 or 3 guys, he just dribbles right into them. And once he dribbles into them, it's a turnover and an automatic counter for the other team. So we really need to get Messi some help, or he really needs to trust his teammates a little bit more so that he can take some of the load off of his shoulders.
Win this derby tonight and you'll start feeling good. You feel as though you're going to have ebbs and flows in a season, which is absolutely the way things are, especially in soccer. You absolutely never know. But we have Daniel Solano with us from the Battered Heritage podcast, also as close to a professional golfer as anybody I know. So are you watching this PGA championship right now? Is Scotty Scheffler dealing?
I mean, I saw him wheeling and dealing yesterday. I was watching yesterday and I felt
bad back 9. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, it was insane. Well, it started at hole 4 in that par 3 where he birdied it. It was an unbelievable tee shot off the par or off the tee, put it right there, like 3 feet within the cup.
And he got an eagle on there, right?
No, he got a birdie, but then he got an eagle on another hole. I mean, he played a fabulous back 9. He's tearing it up, and a big shout out to the broadcasters who were on broadcasting it yesterday because they said, watch out for Scotty. He could turn it on, and if some of these guys on the top of the leaderboard shut it off, he could be one of the favorites to win. So watch out for Bryson as well. Watch out for some of these other guys. It's gonna be an interesting Sunday.
I don't think so. I think once Scotty took once he took a 2-stroke lead going into the final round, it's Rap City. Because all he does is drive into regular, into the fairways, and he gets in the second shot. He always gets it at least 10 to 15 feet away from the hole for a birdie. And 9 times out of 10, he usually makes the birdie. Like, this guy's the best player in the game. Facts. And I called it yesterday when he was down. I'm like, Scotty Scheffler's going to come back and win this. And right now, what is he? It's 3-stroke lead now?
You should have told me so I could have thrown down some money on the Hard Rock app.
Dude, I'm always going with Scheffler because I think a guy that wins multiple events and is always in the top 5 in every major, I'm gonna go with that guy. He's the best player in the world and proves it year in, year out. She could have won it last year if they didn't arrest him early the Friday morning.
Hey, I mean, If you can get arrested and then play around like he did,
He still played a great round. He still shot under 70 in that round.
One of the goats. I mean, really, that's that. I mean, you literally go from your hotel to the golf course to jail, back to the golf course, and you shoot under par. I mean, come on,
dude. He got up early. It was early when he was shooting his round. It was like a 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. tee time for him. So he's there at 5 a.m. He gets booked and mug shot and everything, and doesn't even have time. He leaves the jail and goes straight to the course and shoots under par.
Man, that's a quick turnaround, man.
That is an absolute quick turnaround. And the weather was crappy that day.
I remember it was
raining, and that's why they caused the accident that caused. Oh man, Scheffler's the man.
We are worried about 7:30 tonight. That is going to be Panthers and Maple Leafs. I started the show, Daniel Solana, saying that I'm about 77% confident that the Panthers will win tonight. What is your percentage of confidence that the Panthers are going to defeat the Maple Leafs in this game 7?
89.6%.
Okay. Reasoning?
80 what?
89.6.
89.6. Is there a particular reason why we're going 0.6? I love the numbers that you guys have chosen. He chose 77%. I'm like, what in the Luka Doncic are you doing? And you chose 87.6.
89.6.
89?
89.6. Yeah.
What is this?
Point temperature? No, 0.6 because of that 6-0 in the game in game 5. So I'm hoping that we get another blowout. So we'll see. I want the game to be done by the second period so I can relax in the third period.
Yeah. Well, you guys are really nervous.
It's game 7. Anything can happen.
But
look, every time I doubt Paul Maurice and the Panthers, they come through with flying colors. So
why doubt them now?
Because every time I doubt, they come through with flying colors.
But then you're faking it out.
I'm not faking it out. I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm not scared. I'm just like,
hold up.
It's a superstition. It's a superstition.
Last week he was talking hella trash about the Maple Leafs. They ain't nothing like,
No, I said I don't want to mess with them no more. I'm tired of them. I thought they were cute. They're not cute anymore.
Oh, and then now you're scared. Look at you.
No, I ain't scared. I said I'm nervous.
You scared?
I ain't scared.
All right.
77%. That doesn't sound scared to me.
What's your percentage, Vlad?
100% Panthers win.
Oh, wow. You're that confident. Oh, okay.
I'm damn confident. Yeah. I ain't going. Right. When would I ever turn my listen? Until I see you beat the champs, I'm always going with the champ.
Deal.
Missouri. Show and prove. Show me state, baby. Show and prove. Till I see it, I don't, because here's the thing. I don't think Panther fans really respect the Maple Leafs from 2 seasons ago. And I think we all, like, if you really look back at game 6, you're upset at the offense. That game they should have won game 6. They should have won game 6.
They should have, but they didn't.
They didn't. So then therefore I always think, well, when they lose a game they should have won, with Paul Maurice, they rebound and they're gonna win.
That's why I'm 77% confident. And he's
89.6. Yeah.
I'm hundo.
All right. 10 toes down right there for Vlad. I don't know. Just game 7s. There could be deflections. There could be injuries. There could be things. I just factor all that in. Plus, I get a little flighty, a little nervous sometimes when things get a little tight. So hopefully, like the Panthers, when backs up against the wall, they do their best. The pressure makes diamonds. So I'm feeling good. You're going to be watching both games at the same time, Daniel, because you got Inter Miami and you've got the Panthers playing at the same time.
Yeah, I'll have both TVs going on at the same time. I have the Nacional game now in about a couple hours. So I will be having absolute sports day today. And then hopefully all my teams win today.
Real quick before we let you go, did you watch the Karol G documentary on Netflix yet?
I did. I took your advice and I did.
How was it?
It was fantastic. You were right.
It's great.
You were right. It was fantastic. I mean, and mainly because of the music, right, guys?
Oh man, she's got some great tunes, man. But just how much she had to overcome and how she believed and how she had a lot of craziness happen to her, I absolutely loved it. And there's other things to love about that documentary, but that's enough.
I agree.
What did you think about her old man? Her old man showed up in full Lakers regalia at one point. What was he doing?
I have no idea, but clearly he's a Lakers fan. I don't know if it's because of LeBron or if he's always been a Lakers fan, but that was one of the worst parts of the entire episode.
I like the part where she quit music because of some really nasty business. Her dad didn't talk to her. She got back into music. He started talking to her again. Like, love you,
course.
Baby.
The Benjamins are flowing back, baby. You know how it is.
What's worse, entertainer dad or entertainer mother? Like, that they're bad. Like, the dads really go out of control. and when they're really involved in their child's occupation. Like, it happens in sports and entertainment. We saw what happened with Tyrese Halliburton's dad and, Britney Spears. Yeah.
Big Lynn.
Yeah. So your girl, Karol G. Yeah. Her dad rocking the LeBron outfit for no reason. That's him. They don't care. You think he cares? Absolutely not one single was given. No, absolutely not one.
Oh man, but yeah, the music was fantastic. The tour was great. The story was fantastic. It was a really great stuff. And onward and upward now, but we got a lot to worry about tonight. Mainly the Panthers. That's our main focus. Inter Miami, we'd like to get a win, especially in the derby against Orlando City. That Orlando City derby has been a pretty interesting derby. Some of the greatest moments and some of the worst moments for Inter Miami against Orlando City in their short franchise.
Absolutely. It's been more positive than negative lately. We hope it continues to stay positive, but this is the MLS, the League of Parity, so we know anything can happen on any day.
Who's Nacional playing today?
Nacional plays against Defensor Sporting. If they win and Liverpool from Uruguay loses, Nacional is the champions.
Oh,
wait, Liverpool from Uruguay?
There's a lot online there.
Yeah, there's a Liverpool in Uruguay.
And you don't like them. Your Nacional is your team.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Is Liverpool named Liverpool because of all the shipping from Great Britain that came over to Uruguay?
I assume so. I would assume so. I don't know 100% if that's a fact, but I would assume that the British have something to do with that. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Very good. And how many World Cups has Uruguay won?
4.
Okay. Some people would argue. I'm just saying. I'm not. I believe in the 4. But some people argue. No, I don't agree. So this year, I do want to ask you this question because I'm getting a little confused with everything that's going on with the World Cup. What World Cup is Uruguay going to host that one game that begins the World Cup, and then it's going to go back to the host country?
So it's going to be in 2030, where as of today,
is that the 200 year?
That's going to be the 100-year anniversary because the first World Cup was in 1930, so it'll be the 100-year anniversary. They'll have one game in Argentina as of today, one game in Uruguay, one game in Paraguay, where each of those countries will play one game, and then the tournament will shift over to Europe, where it will be between Morocco, Spain, and Portugal.
Oof. I ain't gonna hold you. Some nice countries they're gonna be playing the World Cup.
Oh yeah.
I'm not getting into FIFA right now, man.
But that's 6 teams out of 48 that will qualify automatically. So,
but I mean that's because they've added so many damn teams, bro.
I know.
And you don't even put the defending. This is what I don't understand. If I win the World Cup, I should automatically be in the World Cup the next one, automatically, like it was back in the days. I'm the champ. I've held this thing for 4 years. Come beat me.
Yeah.
So if you're adding all these teams, they should be. That's really the host country and the defending champ should automatically be in the World Cup.
They're doing the same thing on the women's side as well. Apparently, there was rumors that they're going to extend to 48 teams on the women's side, which I think is. And I might get flack for this, but I think it's ridiculous. I think we see
only 3 good teams in there.
Well, we saw the USA, and I think it was the last World Cup, beat some team 13-0.
Right. And then they were in New Zealand having attendance problems. And like I said, I'm not trying to pile on. They did have some attendance problems, especially outside of like the USA and some of the big name teams. But I do think, and I know I'm probably preaching to the choir, FIFA, go ahead on the 100th anniversary and put it in Uruguay where it started. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. But
it
would have been cool for it to be in Uruguay and Argentina at least, because then they could have had some games in Uruguay and at least the final being played in Uruguay where the first final was played. But hey, FIFA is its own animal and they do whatever they want, clearly. So all we can look forward to is the fact that one game will be played there, and hopefully we'll have a beautiful World Cup in 2030 and Uruguay can lift the trophy just like they did 100 years earlier.
Daniel Solano, one more question before you leave. Who's a bigger a-hole, the NFL or FIFA?
Oh, that's such a tough question. That is such a tough question. I'm going to go with FIFA. I'm going to go with FIFA just because of all the briberies and all the crazy money laundering schemes and all that we've seen over the past. I got to say FIFA just because of all that.
Oh, I wouldn't put that's wrong with you, cousin. Don't compare the NFL to FIFA.
They took Christmas Day from the NBA.
That's nothing. That's
do whatever they want.
But they're not bribing or doing some of the craziness that FIFA has done. Like, hey, man.
Well, a lot of people in the United States maybe don't know some of those stories, so I'm trying to get a little clarity on it.
Yeah, but the NFL is many things. But comparing them to FIFA, that's not one of the things I would do. They're clean compared to what FIFA has done
I agree.
in its lifetime.
I agree, but there's a little bit of a dictatorship going on in the league there with the commissioner.
Listen, I like the NFL infiltrating the NBA, and I like the NBA infiltrating the NFL. I've always said the biggest war that nobody's ever talked about is the NBA NFL war. There was a time when the NBA was creeping up on the NFL. Then the NFL said enough of this, and boom, I'm going to infiltrate your international waters, and I'm going to infiltrate your Christmas Day. And the NBA is like, all right, cool. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to infiltrate Super Bowl week and have the biggest stories during Super Bowl week. And over the last 5 years, big stories out of the NBA have dominated Super Bowl week. Some have been good. Some have been bad.
Interesting take.
I have the examples, baby.
Keep the receipts. We'll get to them.
Yeah.
Daniel Solana, let's win everything tonight. Vamos Gatos. Let's go Cats. Let's go Herons for Inter Miami in this Florida Derby. And we'll go to you next week as the Champions League, UEFA Champions League
PSG
draws
wins.
closer and closer.
Oh, we're gonna have to. I don't know. We'll have to come on Saturday so that we can talk about it before the game.
Yeah, I won't be here.
We got to find out. Well, Vlad won't be here, but we got to find out the 31st. Vlad, are you going to be here for the 31st?
I will be back for the
Gotta
31st.
find a way to maybe catch that game somewhere, man. We'll figure it out, man. We'll figure it out. But yeah, Daniel Solana, thank you so much for joining us. Let's go, man. We'll talk to you next week.
Sounds good, gentlemen. Thank you.
Daniel Solana from Battered Herons podcast. Dice El Dani, Dani, on social media. You can follow him. We're going to come back, get you caught up with everything happening in and around the sports world next here on 560 WQAM.
747-3733.
Irie. Sunday. Hopefully, I'm going to listen to reggae all afternoon because I want to stay just calm and cool for this Game 7 and this Florida Derby tonight for Inter Miami. I'm not going to worry about a thing. Every little thing going to be all right. Thank you.
Yeah, you listen to that reggae. I want to hear.
We're going to get to that.
I want to hear violent reggae.
So, of course, you already know the stakes tonight. Game 7, Florida Panthers, Toronto Maple Leafs, 7:30, Scotiabank in Toronto, right here, 560 WQAM. Inter Miami and Orlando City, of course, they are rivals. It is a derby. They're separated by 1 point in the standings. Inter Miami up by 1 point in the standings over Orlando City. So maybe not as big of a game, obviously, but still pretty big game. So those are the two things we're definitely going to be watching tonight. Last night, though, I did some watching myself. Vlad and I were out at different concerts in different counties, but still having great experiences. Vlad was listening to that violent reggae from Vibes Cartel.
Wait. First of all, it wasn't violent. I just want you want to hear calm. No, we're not doing that. You wanted to hear calm stuff.
Yeah.
I want to hear stuff that's gonna get me amped.
I don't want to amp up. I don't want the
I don't know what you're saying. I wouldn't do that if I was you.
It's not anything wrong.
I'm just saying. No, I just don't think people should just mimic somebody's voice.
Oh,
if they're not saying any words that you just.
Well, that's why I'm not saying any words.
Yeah.
I don't say anything crazy.
But no, it was a great concert. It was great. Great time.
Videos
Great time.
at like 2:30 in the morning when I got home.
Yeah, that's what I realized. But I'm getting old, man. Like after the concert, I was like, damn.
Oh, I was fine. It's just when I got home, I was like, oh, I thought it was like 11. It was 2:30 in the morning. I was like, whoa, man.
Hey, your concert must have been good if you think it was 11 o'clock at night.
I'll walk you through it, man. It's all good. But how was Vibes Cartel? First of all,
it was awesome.
Tell us about the concert, then tell us about the crowd.
Crowd was beautiful, as always. Just beautiful Caribbean people
Dressed
all
to the
around.
nines.
Some were dressed to the nines. Some just look like, hey,
No.
yeah, you got to understand.
You can't roll out to Vibes.
Yeah, you can.
Ooh.
Guys are going to go, people are going to walk in as if they're comfortable. However, whatever their comfort level is.
Did you have the OG guy, big mountain of a man wearing an all-white linen suit at some point?
No, I didn't see none of the crazy linen suits.
Oh, I'm so disappointed.
The color schemes were
unbelievable.
No, they were actually tamed this year.
Whoa.
It was really tamed. I will say that. No, it was great. It was great. Your homegirl and her friend came through. Monique came through. My peoples was out there. Shout out to Bonnie Bonilla.
Bonilla?
Yeah, that's what I call her. She's a Met fan, so I call her Bonnie Bonilla.
Okay.
Bonnie Bonilla, Rosie. Haven't seen her like in 20 years. It was great seeing her, obviously. Linnea, shout out to her. My boy Miguel. We went there. We all had a time, man. It was a slice.
How long did Vibes play for?
2 hours.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about.
I believe it was 2 hours. Listen, this is when I realized that man has hits.
I was gonna say, did he play a bunch of hit after hit after hit?
He played so much. Like you forget when somebody's incarcerated and you're not listening to their music as much. You forget how many hits they have when they start when they're back on the road again. And it was, put it this way, he probably played his 2 biggest hits commercially, first 2 songs. And then the rest was still nothing. Everything else was banging. You feel like, oh my God, I forgot this one. He did them all, bro. He did them all. He did Clark's. It was a great concert.
Yeah,
bro.
It's a simple formula, which most musicians should follow, is you come out and you have high energy songs for the first 3 or 4. Then you take it down with the song.
Ain't no taking it down with him. He's hype all the time.
There's some songs that are a little more melodic than others.
There's the little romantic ones you do for the ladies.
But don't come out. I hate when they come out and they sing a hot song and then they sing a slow song. I'm like, no, the crowd wants to get going first and then you bring them down. But
he was good.
He was good.
Now, here's the other thing you'll realize after you've watched somebody perform for a long time. People don't really like to perform as much anymore. This is what artists do. They'll start singing their verse, and then Mike goes to the crowd, and now the crowd is, hey, listen, buddy, I didn't pay for the crowd to sing the song. I could have been at home listening to the song in the car. Yeah. I paid for you to sing the song.
I don't sing along. I understand singing along, and a lot of people do, which is totally cool. I don't usually sing along.
No, but here's what happens, right? The artists sometimes think the crowd really knows every word to the song, and they don't. Because I know I I know as I've gotten older, there's a lot of songs that I used to remember word for word, and now it's like I'm like I'm stumbling, mumbling, and then catching like the last line or the last word of the that's what was going on. So then it was like he would have to tell the DJ to pull up and then actually do the song and actually perform. But I get it, man. It's over 50. It happens. So it's as the OGs get older.
Yeah, glad to have Vibes back though, man.
But it was great to see Vibes, man. Yeah, man. Last 8 months, man, I've seen Vibes and Buju.
Oh, legendary classic.
That would be a great versus. That was the other thing I realized. He got nothing but slaps. But how was yours, man? How was your concert?
Yeah, I went out to the Kaseya Center and saw he spells his name Dookie, D-U-K-I, but he called himself Duko. So maybe there's some confusion. It was a very young crowd, man. Like no lines at the Kaseya Center bars, not a lot of people, drinking. But man, I'll give it credit. He's an Argentine trap artist. So I was not lied to. I was kind of misdirected that he was a reggaeton artist. He's a trap artist, which is basically rap music. But the energy and the flow was good, man. I can't lie. A lot of people in their Messi jerseys out there because, he represents Argentina. And a lot of people sing. Now, I was a little worried that it might be a rougher crowd because he's a trap artist. It was not a rough crowd at all. The Kaseya Center in Miami, no, I guess I grew up too much in New Orleans where you go to hip hop and rap shows and get ready. It could get dangerous, but no, it was totally fine, man. It wasn't overly packed. And like I said, it was a younger crowd, so I definitely wasn't scared. And it wasn't like a hood rich crowd, so I definitely wasn't scared. But he was great, man. He had a lot of good energy. He was a typical like younger artist, Vlad. You go out there, they teach you, don't talk too much between songs. Don't slow things down. You finish a song, let them cheer, sing again. Sing. So he was just rapid fire songs. Whoop, 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 whoop. Went off the stage, encore came on. Out of there, man. So
how long was it?
He played for about an hour and a half.
He's that popular. He's got that many trap joints.
Duco, yeah. I mean, rappers, man, they can crank out.
Yeah, but I mean, dude, you got for a rapper to put how long he's been out? Like for a rapper to have a good album, to do a show hour and a half, you have to have hits, man, guy, and you have to have some heralded, regard like very, very regarded, very well regarded B-sides, you know what I'm saying, like album tracks.
Cuts, yeah. Well, what was cool about it was that a lot of people were singing along to every song, and of course, people I was with were like, he has a lot of hits, everybody knows it. I was like, when you were 21, you knew everybody's lyrics, just like you were saying, Vlad. Like,
it does.
As you get older, you don't pay as much attention to the lyrics. So I'm like, I don't know if these songs are hits. It's just when you're 21, you know.
Oh, you know if it's a hit.
Your favorite, but know
what hits. You know favorite album cuts by the reaction of the fans.
Some of them weren't hits, I'll say that. But like people were singing along, they're like, no, it's a hit. They're singing along. I'm like, yeah, because they're 21 years old. When you get older, you don't pay attention to lyrics as much, or you don't memorize them. When you're younger, man, if you brought me to even like a 3-6 Mafia concert, I'd sing along every word, man, to their whole concert.
Not every word.
You take me to a 3-6 Mafia concert, I'd be like, whoop that trick, get him, whoop that. That's all I know.
So you don't know every word. So that's what I'm saying.
As I'm older, I don't now. I'm just my man. That part of my brain is gone.
Yeah.
I will say, I was very appreciative as I was walking away from the bar getting a beer. They had a dude walking with two lovely ladies. He's younger. I mean, he's in his 20s, and he was speaking Spanish. As he walked by me, he goes, "Dande, you're awesome," and then kept walking. And everybody I was with didn't hear it. I was like, "Well, did you see that?" And they were like, "No, what are you talking about?" I was like, "Guy just walked by and said I was awesome." And they were like, no, we didn't know. Did that really happen? I was like,
he called you awesome? He called you maybe an a-hole?
No. He said, Dande, you're awesome. And then he just kept walking. He had two ladies with him. He wasn't going to waste his time with me, and I don't blame him.
Did he call you a pendejo?
No, he didn't use those words. He spoke in English.
Oh, okay.
He said he was speaking in Spanish. He paused, looked at me like he was familiar with me. I was like, do I know this guy? Pointed at me and goes, Dande, you're awesome. And then kept walking with his ladies. And I was like, and then no one saw it. I was like, man, if a tree falls in the forest and no one hears it, does it really make a sound? Like, I appreciate him. If he's listening right now, mucho appreciation. But
how are the baddies?
Oh,
yeah, two baddies.
I will say it was a good looking crowd. Now, once again, it was a younger crowd, but it was a very fit, very fashionable crowd last night. I will say that. Fit and fashionable is how I'd say it.
What time your concert started?
He went on exactly at 9:00.
Wow, young on time.
Exactly at 9, and it ended exactly at like 10:25. So that's how come I knew it was an hour and a half, because I walked out. And then wanted to go eat, and I was like, man, the two things I don't want tonight, Mexican food or pasta. Well, let's go get Mexican food or pasta. Oh, no. And also, there wasn't a lot of options open that late at night because it was like almost 11 o'clock.
There's options.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, man.
So what did you get?
Mexican food. I didn't get anything. I didn't even get beers. I was just like, no, just, you go ahead and eat, and I'll hang out. I just wasn't in the mood. When you're not in the mood, you're not in the mood.
That's what she said.
That's what was also said. Yeah, of course. When you're not in the mood, you're not in the mood. So, yeah, good night, though. I was very surprised at how good Duco was, because as I listened to his music, preparing, because I always try to listen to an artist before I go, I was like, oh, this is a lot of trap, man. And trap can be good, and some of it is, but some of it also, but I was very pleasantly surprised with the show that he put on and the energy. And he had a live band. That's also, I think, really helped, because he didn't just have a track where he was just playing and it was, synthetically pumped in. He had a drum set. He had guitarists, bassists.
He had a band?
He had a band. You don't think it makes a difference, but having a band
absolutely makes a great difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah, you're playing live instruments.
In a live show.
You listen, man, live instruments will set the mood right.
And the sound magnifique. If you were one of the sound engineers or whatever at Kaseya Center or with Duco, you did a great job last night. I cannot knock the sound at all. It was
let me hear
fantastic.
Some of this guy's music.
Let's hear Duco right now. Let's go. Okay, so you know what he's singing about, Vlad, or rapping about? You'll love this. He's talking about how a woman affected his life.
I heard Policia. I don't know. He ain't like the police. That's what I heard.
Yeah, well, I did edit that a little bit.
You ain't edited that much if I could understand it. That's probably one of the 10 words I know in Spanish.
He said that a woman affected his life very seriously, but does it affect him as much as Koto, which is a certain brand of herbal essence?
Oh, he likes gas.
He sang about herbal essence a lot in the show.
Okay.
So you'd probably like it.
Okay.
I mean, it was pretty easy to tell.
All right. It was hey, man, I'm happy you had a good time. I had a great time.
Yep.
It's concert season. It's summertime, baby. There's going to be a lot of great concerts next week. Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, yeah, I got one.
Yeah. Best of the Best is going to come down here.
Yeah, I saw Best of the Best this year.
Buju's coming down. Barris, Marsha Griffith, a lot of them.
You big Barris Hamilton fan?
Who?
Barris
Hammond? Yeah. I love Barris.
Barris Hammond, I'm sorry, yeah.
Kidding me?
He's cool.
Yeah, he's cool. He's the Don. He's a legend. Man, a Barris tape or Barris CD would get, it got the job done on many nights.
Okay.
Many nights.
It's Game 7 Sunday. You got some big nights ahead of you. 7:30 Panthers, Maple Leafs. That's the one we're excited about in Toronto. 3:30 though, a little precursor. You get Thunder and Nuggets. Both teams looking to extend their season. Aaron Gordon has a grade 2 hamstring strain. Most likely will not play, which is unfortunate.
And low-key, he's been their most clutch player in this postseason so far.
He's had a great postseason, not just for the clutch plays, but some of his play has been fantastic. So you hate to see that for anybody, any team, anywhere. Now you got to look at Luke. I keep calling him Nico. Nikola Jokic and say, man, that yoke gets even heavier on your back. But if there's anybody that can do it, it's that guy. When you have that slowed down game.
What's crazy is the winner of this game is going to have home court in the Western Conference.
Yes, they will, because the Timberwolves are like a 7
They were a 6 seed, yeah. And which was crazy, they hosted a series. They had home court in the second round, that last round against Golden State. So
right,
all the top teams in both conferences have been going down. OKC does have home court today. Jalen Williams had one of the worst games I've ever seen a player have, and at least for him, it was one of the worst games I've seen him have. The question's always been, Dan, is there a Robin next to Shea's Batman? And I think Jalen Williams has taken the steps to be a Robin, but you can't go 3 for 16 in a closeout game. And a closeout opportunity when the team was playing very well and had a chance to win. So I want to know, this is a big game, man. A lot of changes will be done with the result of this game. That will change. That's going to change how moves are made in the Western Conference. Because if Oklahoma City lose, Dan, a second year as the number 1 seed with the
In the
possible MVP
in the second round.
Huh?
Twice in the
right.
second round.
Second year in a row losing in the second round
As a number 1 seed.
as a number 1 seed. Shea should win MVP this year. He was what? I think he finished runner-up last year. You've had the two seasons of the best record in the West, 1 season as the best record in the whole NBA,
And you got the best scorer in the league.
and you lose to you had home court and you lose to the Denver. Nah, changes might have to be made.
And remember,
a certain gentleman who wants to leave a certain place.
we're going to talk about him in the next segment.
I think you pair him up with Shea, the freak. You Greek freak with Shea.
That's a dangerous matchup.
That's a dangerous combination. So we'll see.
Remember, if Oklahoma City loses tonight, no number 1 seed advancing to the Eastern or Western Conference Finals.
And the Knicks will have home court for the rest of the playoffs.
Woo! Dallas Stars, they punched their ticket to the Western Conference Finals in the NHL, taking down President's Trophy winners Winnipeg 2-1 last night in overtime.
So for the Dallas Stars, this is the 3rd consecutive year they've reached the conference finals. They got to get to the Stanley Cup, bro.
I got them winning I got them playing against the Panthers in the finals.
I got Edmonton against the Panthers. I said that. It's a rematch. Yeah, no, the Stars, hey, man. Peter DeBoer, you got to give him credit. 3rd year in a row getting them to the conference finals, but they got to win. And you're going against the same team that eliminated you last year. So, therefore, you got revenge. You're spinning around the block.
Sandy Alcantara gave up 4 runs over 5 innings as the Marlins fell to the Rays 4-0. The two they finish up play in their series today at 1:40. So in about 20 minutes from now, Inter Miami take on Orlando City, 7 o'clock on Commercial Boulevard. And journalism won a thrilling race at the Preakness yesterday. We're going to get to that also later in the show. But right now, let's get into the day spa. You know, egg prices are rising, Vlad.
Yo, I took my man is he has chickens that lay eggs. I told him he should sell Lucy's for like $10.
So I was going to tell you the new trend here in the United States:
Lucy eggs,
buying and erecting a chicken coop and keeping some chickens in your backyard. That's Creole right there. Well, I mean, you're already keeping chickens in your backyard anyway if you're Cajun or Creole. So maybe get a couple more.
I'm saying, bro,
Eggs are valuable, man.
Eggs are way valuable right now.
I know people that they will not eat breakfast without eggs.
And you can't even throw away, like, you can't. Somebody might get upset if you throw away like some eggs, like some scraps of eggs on a plate. You know, nah,
And the days of going to egg someone's house or car, those are over, man.
Oh man, are you kidding me?
You're throwing money away. Kids, take paint, do something.
Dude.
Giannis Antetokounmpo is back at it again. Is he cool? Is he hot on the heat? He's kind of like that Katy Perry song, hot and cold. We're going to see where he's at next here on 560 WQAM.
baby. Girl, me love you, me why you believe me, so please never leave me. Baby, come and let me really make you one I see.
Beautiful voice.
Love it.
Absolutely great. Makes me talk like this.
That voice does something to the ladies, man.
Oh, I mean, it's smooth, man. It's smooth.
Got them whining and grinding, bro. It was great. It was great.
All right. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's open to possibly moving somewhere, open to also staying in Milwaukee. It's no secret that Pat Riley and the Heat always looking to improve, especially if they can land a former MVP. They will try to do it. There's a yin and a yang in this story. First, the yin. NBA insider Scoop B, Brandon Robinson. He reported earlier this week, league sources tell me that Pat Riley and the Heat organization have quietly explored scenarios to get the two-time MVP. Could eventually be pried away from Milwaukee. But here's the twist. I'm hearing Giannis isn't exactly feeling Pat Riley, and that might be a bigger hurdle than Miami expected. It's a growing feeling among subset of stars, past and present, even ones who've suited up in South Beach. I'm talking about LeBron James. I'm talking about Jimmy Butler. Thread that really connects it all is Riley. Giannis is a superstar that kind of wants to be co-running, have some say.
So he wants a joint partnership.
He wants a joint partnership. He feels as though you are maybe president, but I am player. Work together. When it seems like more and more Pat Riley is an authoritarianship.
So if that's what he would want, why would he want to leave Milwaukee?
Exactly is my question.
Right? Because then, like, if he wants to be, he wants to have a lot of say, and he rightfully so. He sees that all the other superstars that he feels he's in the same level as, or they have a lot of say in what goes on. So he would like the same at his time in this time in his career. When he's 30, he's probably in the back. He's in the 10th hole of the back nine of his career.
He's not past his prime, but he's getting towards the back
end
part
of his
prime.
He's the end. He's right. Yeah, he's totally at the end of his like athletic dominant prime. Yeah. He'll still have his prime, but yeah, he's on the 10th hole right now, and he's looking at it like as he should. What are the next 2-3 years going to look like for my career?
I'm here to tell you this is all BS.
Why you say it's BS?
Giannis Antetokounmpo and his agents are throwing up smoke screens.
Why are they throwing up why you say that?
Pat Riley, authoritarian, who let Jimmy Butler basically do what he want for 5 years and started cracking the whip. Giannis Antetokounmpo, if you, like you said, Vlad, if he just wants 50-50 say or whatever amount of say, Milwaukee's done everything for him. If that's what he values, why is he exploring other options? They're trying to drive up value. They're trying to do other things. And if you're a Heat fan, that's like, maybe Pat Riley's too old school, too much of a stick in the mud. Forget about that.
Maybe I'm old school with the thinking, why would Milwaukee trade him within the conference that they play in? If you're going to do anything, you'll probably trade him west. And that's why I think this game between OKC and Denver is very important, because if OKC lose, I could see Giannis going to OKC.
He could. But Pat Riley even said it at his end of the year press conference. Heat culture always is adapting. It doesn't stay the same. They're trying to paint him into this corner that he's just an authoritarian old man at 80 years old saying, it's my way or the highway. That's not the way it is.
And I'm going to tell you what else makes it BS.
I'm going to tell you more too. Go ahead.
Who's his man's?
Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Yeah. Who's his boy?
Isn't Bam Adebayo everybody's guy?
But who's his boy? Bam. Who represents both of them? They have the same agent.
Mm-hmm.
If anything was, and he's the captain of the Miami Heat. So if he needs to know anything that's going on with Miami, he'll just go talk to Bam, and Bam will let him know the truth. The same way if LeBron had some concerns, D-Wade was his guy, and D-Wade gave him the vote of confidence. Like, nah, man. Remember, he wanted to get Spotify, but wanted Riley to run the team. And he's like, nah, you don't want none of that. You don't want none of that. Let's Spo. So listen, you know where we're at this time. When there's a lot of dead time between games, they need something to talk about. They need some traffic. And here's the thing, though. I don't want to say it's not true it's only because of the source. Now, if Shams said it, I would totally agree with. I would totally believe it, because it was Shams. Because the same way people are kind of like dismissing this guy, what you said, Scoop B. it was the same way a lot of people was dismissing when Sham said that Jimmy wanted to be traded, and he was absolutely right throughout everything. So I don't want to just brush it to the side, but there's a lot of factors in this that kind of makes the story a little false.
More reason why not to drink the Kool-Aid, and they're trying to manipulate you. We've already told you, Pat Riley adapts, adjusts. He wouldn't have the Heat and the Heat organization where it's at if he didn't. Giannis Antetokounmpo would love to play for any team that gives him a chance to win a championship. Just a couple of hours ago, and I don't know why this was going down at 2:48 a.m., but someone tweeted at Giannis Antetokounmpo, and this is just a fan, out of all the cities you've ever been to, which city made you the happiest to be there, not counting your hometown? Giannis Antetokounmpo replies, Florida cities.
Destin?
Florida cities. You don't think they're trying to play you, Vlad, where 1 minute they bait you, the next minute they switch you.
He said Florida City, so let's just name them all.
Fort Walton, Destin, Pensacola,
the Muck,
Orlando.
Belglades.
Maybe he wants to play in the
Maybe he
Magic
wants to
Kingdom.
play. Maybe he wants to play him and live in Belglades. Carroll City.
Maybe Florida City.
Florida City.
Okalaka.
Fort Myers.
Maybe Fort Myers, St. Petersburg.
He probably been to Naples, B.
Sarasota.
He's definitely he's taking the 75 to Naples. That's why he likes it there.
Maybe he likes the Keys. Dumpwater, Florida.
Sistrunk?
I don't know.
You think he likes Sistrunk?
What does he mean when he says Florida cities? You need to be more specific, Giannis. We're not getting played. I don't think anybody's buying this back and forth, this cat and mouse. So someone went to Scoop B and said, hey, man, Giannis doesn't really like that around. Scoop B reports it. Okay, let's wait. And then Cowboy, Knicks, Red Sox, Longhorns.
Huh?
That's their name on Twitter.
Cowboy, Knicks,
Red Sox, Longhorns. At Elijah2314. Obviously, someone that probably knows somebody. Hey, send this to Giannis. Giannis, respond Florida cities. Florida cities. Now, all of a sudden, Miami's back in the play.
Orlando's back in play.
Yeah, he wants to Paolo Banchero.
Why not? He might like Pablo. They might. Listen, just because he said Florida cities, does not act like he's playing you because of Miami. There's other teams in the state of Florida. There's another team in the state of Florida that's also in the playoff that if you put him on that team with Franz Wagner and Banchero, oh, man, yeah.
Keeping his options open. But
you just don't like the fact that he said Florida. You wanted like a literal.
Wait. It gets more interesting because Giannis, he seems like a humble, nice guy that would never try to, what would you call the word? Kind of intimidate a situation or stir the pot.
Ask Tyrese Halliburton's that.
So someone else tweets at Giannis since he's talking about favorite cities.
All right, what time is this tweet?
Hold up. This is today also.
No, because you said they tweeted him at 2:30 in the morning, right? And now they tweet like, where is Giannis?
This is also at 1:22 a.m.
So this was an hour before the first tweet that you just read.
What's your favorite city to play in on the road? Who's your favorite city to play in when you're on the road?
Isn't that literally the same question?
Another very nondescript answer. New York. Is it Brooklyn? Is it the Knicks? I don't know, Giannis.
I don't think we need him right now.
Giannis, stop it.
Until we get eliminated and how we get eliminated.
Stop
but
it.
We don't get eliminated. We don't need him. But listen, hey, you know what? He's having fun. You guys are annoying him at 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't know where he's at. I hope he's in Greece so that it's not that intrusive and bothersome that you're texting a man at 1:30 in the morning. And by the way, Giannis, you don't really have to answer these people.
So somebody asked, are you talking about Orlando, Florida? Oh, Joel Embiid responds, yo, do you know what you're doing, man? LOL.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. He's trolling. Giannis is having fun. And he'll be in Milwaukee for the next 3 years.
Heat Nation tweets, wake up, let's get delusional after Giannis put Florida cities.
That's it. He got y'all. Look at that. He knew what he's doing. This
Anthony
is great.
Chang?
This is great trolling
We
by
know
Giannis.
Anthony Chang. He's on the Heat beat.
Of course.
He follows up that Florida cities. Happy Sunday, Heat Twitter.
What time? At what time? This is all going early this morning? This is all early
No,
this
Anthony
morning.
Chang's doing it at 9 a.m. today.
But this is started from 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I don't know why all this stuff.
Dude, this is crazy. 1 o'clock in the
Why
morning.
is Embiid responding at 3:06 a.m.?
What is these guys doing? That's where are they? Are they hanging out with each other?
They're all in a room together.
Like, that's crazy talk for me. Why are they talking this late in the night or this early in the morning? Who else responded? Did Podcast Peep join in?
I'm looking through all that we're going through. It's a lot of New York and it's a lot of Florida cities.
Well, right now,
because his response.
Well, because of the response. Yeah, absolutely, because of the response. If he said L.A., everybody would think, oh, he's going to join the Lakers.
But what a triumvirate that would be. I don't know if it'd still get him past the first or second round of the playoffs, but
they would get them. Then they would win the championship.
How we thought Luka was enough to win a championship.
I know we don't. You still need a big man in this league. You still need a big man.
Giannis has a history of losing in the first round. Being like, well, how did that happen?
He's not losing if he has a Robin.
So Giannis' favorite city to play in on the road is New York.
Okay, he loves the Garden.
His favorite cities. Let's read this right because I don't want to mislead people like Giannis is trying to do. Out of all the cities you've ever been to, which city made you the happiest to be there? Not counting your hometown.
L.A.,
Florida cities. He said.
That was the one. Oh, you already said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying his favorite road place is New York. His favorite happy place is Florida City.
So he likes Orlando. He might like Disney World.
Maybe that's his thing.
Yeah. Maybe he likes Tampa.
I'm not getting played.
Tallahassee.
I'm not getting played.
Gainesville.
This is just playing with us, man. Trying to drive it up, trying to get interest, trying to stoke things up. People come up to me and say, Giannis wants to be here in Miami. I'm like,
Homestead?
No one ever said Giannis wanted to be in Miami. There was never that statement. Giannis wants to play for the Knicks. No one ever said that statement. Well, his favorite road place is New York. Okay, that means nothing. A lot of people's Michael Jordan's favorite place to play was at the Garden.
Everybody's favorite place to play is the Garden.
Yes, and who doesn't like Florida cities? Doesn't mean anything.
I mean, there's only like really 4 or 5 that I really like. I don't like the rest of them.
Pensacola. Miami.
Of course. Fort Lauderdale.
I mean, I consider Miami Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, no, Fort Lauderdale's his own city, man. They own
South Florida. Let's just do South Florida.
Nah, West Palm is his own city too.
South Florida, Pensacola. I do not like Orlando. I'm sorry. If you're listening in Orlando,
nobody likes Jamlando, bro. That's messed up. Nobody wants you like it when you're a kid, but when you're an adult, you don't have this.
No, I didn't like it when I was a kid either. I was never brought to Disney World when I was a kid. And the one time I went when I was like 23, I was like, I've been waiting for this my whole life. I was like, that's
what I said. Fort Lauderdale's its own city. That's what I just said.
I've been waiting for my whole life. I've been waiting for this Disney.
You were like me as a kid. You didn't really see the hype for Disney World.
Well, you weren't allowed to go because you hear other kids.
What do you mean I wasn't allowed to go?
I wasn't allowed to go.
Oh, I was like, wait, you're telling me they ain't the 60s, bro? What's wrong with you?
All these kids would talk about how awesome it is. And then I go to Big Land. Can we go to Disney? No, we don't do that. Okay. I always felt deprived. And like I said, I went when I was like 23, 24. And I was like, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life.
You're not going to have the same appreciation for it as a 23, 24-year-old man as you would as a 5, 6-year-old kid.
I think I would have though.
No, you wouldn't.
I was in the mindset of a 5-year-old.
You're always in the mindset of a 5-year-old.
Well, then I should like it now. Have you ever been to Epcot? Don't need to go.
Actually, Disneyland is not overrated. I like Disneyland.
Disney World or Disneyland?
Land. That's the one in Anaheim.
Disneyland is actually okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like because you're not expecting it to be like Disney World.
It's old, it's cool,
yeah.
You know.
But Disney World, yeah,
I like the prices at Disney World too. It's cheap.
I didn't get the fascination. Like people with the yearly pass, like how many times you gonna see the damn?
You like what you like. We got our guys here, like Steph, the engineer, the specialist. He'll go there any chance he gets, and that's cool. There's things I like. I like going to dive bars and happy hours. That's fine with me too.
I love strip clubs and
there you go. I can't judge you
and
for
dive
that.
bars.
Yeah, I can't judge you for that.
Why would you?
Nah, well, I wouldn't. Giannis likes Florida cities, and he likes to play road games in New York.
You gotta be more specific about Florida cities, because I could give him some Florida cities that I definitely know he wouldn't like to play. He wouldn't want to be in.
Does anybody get the reference to Dumpwater, Florida? That would be if you get this 305-567-0560. No. If you get it 305-567-0560, or you can jump on the YouTube or Twitch. Don't look it up. If you know it,
they're gonna look it up.
The reference Dumpwater, Florida.
The hell are you telling them? Then don't look it up. They're gonna look it up.
Why is everybody trying to stop me? Disneyland is both overrated. Oh yeah, of course it's overrated for us, but some people love it. That's cool. That's cool. So Giannis and them, they're just trolling. They're just messing. Don't read into it. Will he end up with the Miami Heat? Right now, we don't know. I don't think Giannis even knows right now. I think Giannis is on a break. getting his life together, figuring it all out. But he's keeping his options open.
The man's having fun trolling you dummies.
Also, stop tweeting people at 1 a.m.
Yo, fam, I'm about to say, yo, if I'm a superstar athlete, you texting me at 1:30 in the morning,
trolling.
I am absolutely trolling.
And
I know, you know
X.
what? But here, give him. I give him credit because all he had to do was just totally avoid, like, just ignore it and go to bed. Like, he doesn't just put it on silent. But no, he wanted to mess with them. He wanted to mess with him. He must have been lit.
Everybody was.
He had to be
Embiid
lit. He had to be lit. There might have been some
maybe
wine.
Giannis and Embiid were in the same party.
There had to be a
together.
lot of vino. Yeah, because like, yo, Embiid texting you, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you know what it is? Embiid's like, stop taking my title. You're trying to take the troll title away from me. Now that's what it is. It is trolling. It was very good trolling by Giannis.
Chilling in a VIP at a club, and they're like, yo, get my guy to tweet you this. Respond to this. Respond to this.
Nasty work, yo. That's nasty work by Trevor. Were they in Cancun?
They might have been.
They might have been. But that was funny.
Embiid got the head start.
Embiid was in Cancun like 4 months ago.
He was in, 2 months before the NBA season was over. He was in Cancun.
I think he was in Cancun the minute tip-off happened, opening tip-off.
It has a timeshare down there. Maybe not even a timeshare.
Oh, him and Paul George and Sharon. Like, they got
bought a place.
They got like an 8-month villa there.
Might have just bought a place, man. Go ahead.
Might as well Airbnb that.
Yeah, when you're not there, the few weeks out of the year you're not there, go ahead and Airbnb it. But don't read anything into this. Look, Giannis,
I mean, it could be something, it could be nothing.
They're a long way from anything, any type of decision. I'm telling you right now.
Are you sure about that?
I'm sure about it.
I don't think so.
I'm sure about
I
it.
think this trade happens before the free agency hits. This trade happens within the next month or so.
Okay.
I don't know where Giannis is traded to, but he's being traded within.
Well, we have to see
the
how
next
these playoffs, as you say, playoffs play out. Because if Oklahoma City loses tonight, they've got a lot of draft capital. They might say, you know what? There was actually, I did see this now, just to further stir the pot. And I know I just made fun of Giannis for stirring the pot, but now I'm going to try to stir the pot a little bit because there was a trade in the works that sounded absolutely crazy to me that I was reading up on earlier today. And it doesn't include Giannis, but it does include the Miami Heat. So before we go, here's one of the trades proposed by Yahoo Sports. Heat received DeMar DeRozan. Sacramento Kings get Tobias Harris. Detroit Pistons receive John Collins. Utah receives Terry Rozier, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and a 2031 first-round pick. That's not happening.
So wait, who did he get?
DeMar DeRozan.
Oh.
And Sacramento will take Tobias Harris. The Pistons will take John Collins.
Time out, bro. I'm going to tell you this,
Why
right?
would you want that?
I'm going to tell you this.
If you're Pat Riley, yeah.
If you're going to get an old aging star, get one that's old aging as a superstar. So if you're going to get an old star, go after Kevin Durant. I love Debo, but
I mean, Vlad,
you see,
this is a good Heat proposal.
Solana has this thing where he's like to say the guy gets 30 points on 30 shots, and I don't believe that because in the fourth quarter, DeMar DeRozan is one of the most clutch players in the game. But I don't know if his game could work.
Man, Pat Riley pulled the trigger in a heartbeat. If you could get DeMar DeRozan, Sacramento Kings get Tobias Harris, Detroit Pistons get John Collins, and all you have to really give up is Terry Rozier, Jaime Jaquez Jr., and a first-round pick. Two guys that have no production for you last year, and a first-round pick that, once again, Pat Riley doesn't care that much about back in 2031. That's not happening. Telling you there. Telling you now.
I don't think it's a bad trade for the Heat.
It's a great trade for the Heat.
But I don't know if they need that, though.
I'll take it.
I mean, does that get you you think that's a 6 seed?
That's at least a 5 seed. Maybe even a 4 seed.
I don't think you're better than Orlando.
You got a guy who could score. You take some of that pressure off Tyler Hero.
I don't think you're better. You're not better than Indy. You're not better than Cleveland. You're not better than the Knicks.
You're better.
Are you better than Boston?
In a regular season.
I don't think you're better than Boston.
It'll get you as high as a 4 seed right now.
Oh.
Better than a 10 seed.
Oh, you're definitely going to be halfway better.
Yeah, okay.
You might be 5 or 6. I don't know if you're a top 14, but just getting in the playoff and getting that week off just to avoid the play-in is so important for the Heat.
And more wins this year than losses would also be very important for Heat fans. Just saying. Do some day or day next. Thumbs up, thumbs down on 560 WQAM.
Listen to us live or on demand and use the rewind feature to go back and listen to any part of any shows you might have missed.
Pool party. If I even the beach, me have to reach.
Pool party.
Summertime. Every man say papi come along. Go for your suntan in the summer sun.
Pool party.
I went to a pool party last Sunday. It was all right. A little crazy.
Yeah, my boyfriend, I had a friend who was he was Parisian, and he loved pool parties, so that's all he would say every time you hear that song, pool party.
A Parisian guy?
Yeah, he's from Paris. He's French.
Big pool guy. My mom thinks she's from France. Big Lynn thinks she's from Paris. She's not. She's from Cotton Port, Louisiana. Big difference. If you haven't been to either, don't. I mean, when I say don't go to Cotton Port. Go to Paris. That's different. Nonetheless, let's rapid fire some nay or day, some thumbs up, some thumbs down. Dolphins quarterback. It's hard to say that now. Dolphins quarterback Quinn Ewers signed a $3 million exclusive trading card deal with Panini America. And last night they released a hype video for him.
Breaking news at First Take. Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers is declaring for the NFL draft. Big news today in the world of college football. Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers has officially, how about this, declared for the NFL draft.
You've seen plenty of glimpses of Quinn Ewers, showed he could be a successful starting quarterback.
He's dealt with high-pressure environments, being the number one quarterback his whole life.
Will always be remembered as the quarterback that kind of like jolted the Texas program.
My name is Quinn Ewers. I play quarterback from the University of Texas, rated rookie. You know, playing quarterback's not a position, it's a lifestyle. I guess where it all kind of started for me was throwing the ball in the backyard with my dad.
Southlake Carroll football has a tradition of excellence at quarterback. Quinn Ewers has the potential to be the best. Earlier this month, ESPN named Quinn the #1 overall recruit in the country for the class of 2022.
Quinn Ewers, he is one of the highest, if not the highest, rated quarterback of all time in the modern scouting era.
That's very interesting. So look at this paint drawing.
So let's go with a nay on that. Number one,
than this
Quinn Ewers, possibly the highest rated recruit out of high school ever, even higher than Tate Martell, and we all know how that ended up. He went from the #1 recruit in the nation to being the last quarterback taken in this draft and actually pushed out at Texas.
Hey, Ned, you know what that means? In another 5 years, he could be making $265 million.
Talking about Brock Purdy?
Yeah, he could be Brock Purdy.
Man, I would not say descent, just what a range of, I don't even know what you would call it, but going from the highest possibly ever high school recruited player to the last player that's a quarterback taken in this year's NFL draft. As a Dolphins fan, can you say it, Vlad? There's potential there. No, I'm not saying that. You know how I feel about Quinn Ewers.
No, I don't. How do you feel about him?
He's a 7th round pick that got pushed out at Texas for Arch Manning. Facts.
Okay, I mean, yeah, you're not lying.
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese back at it again.
And look how Caitlin Clark pushes Angel Reese, and Angel Reese gets right up into Caitlin Clark. Afterwards has something to say as Clark walks away. We know there are always increased eyeballs, energy, and attention around the matchups between Reese and Clark, and Angel Reese is still going after Caitlin Clark in the aftermath.
Everyone in the arena had to know this foul was coming. As soon as you saw Angel Reese wide open, you knew that Caitlin Clark was going to come in and take that foul.
Angel, can you take us through the flagrant foul from your perspective? Just what you saw in that play, how you interpreted what happened.
Basketball play, refs got it right. Move on.
That's a day all day.
Wait, who said that at the end? That was Caitlin?
No, Angel Reese.
She said that was the basketball
play. Referees got it right. Move on.
They talked to her.
Great job, though. First of all,
they talked to her. They made sure to talk to her. They knew that was going to be the #1 question. They talked to her.
First of all,
let's talk about it.
Great job by everybody involved here.
I feel like this was scripted.
I was gonna say this, Vlad.
This
both
was
Caitlin
so
Clark
this was
and Angel
so
Reese.
Rural Wrestling Entertainment because
They both know.
Okay, Dan, I was going because I wanted to bring this up to you yesterday. I've seen the commercials, but I didn't really get like the type of hype for this upcoming WNBA season that I had for the 23-24 season. So we saw the games yesterday that they had on Saturday afternoon on ABC. They had the Liberty versus the Aces. You know, we always give a shout out to AJ Wilson, and I love Sabrina and Askew, and I love the Liberty, and they're the defending champs. That was great. But what was the big 3:30 game? What was the big game? Oh, it was Indiana versus Chicago.
First game of the year for both teams.
So they definitely were trying to hype Angel versus Caitlin. And if you look at the foul wasn't even that bad.
Oh, but Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark both know what they're doing.
They know what they were doing. And you saw Caitlin did not.
She walked away.
She walked away, which means to me it was all just a setup, just to say, oh my God, the rivalry there, it's starting back up in year 2. Because it was just like she walked. Come on, man, that was scripted, bro.
And then Angel Reese just said, you know what? Move on. It's over. Because she knows where to push and pull. She walks away.
But she had a triple-double in Fever 1, so.
That is correct. Angel Reese, not Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark had a triple-double, and the Fever ran away from the Chicago Sky. But yeah, I think they both know. When I say playing the part, they know.
Everybody has a part to play.
And they're both doing a great job at it. Somebody that had a great night last night won Thomas Harley for the Dallas Stars.
Played to the corner by Pionk. Circling that second. Harley! Series over!
Great game last night, by the way.
Oh, it was overtime?
That was an overtime goal winner for the Dallas Stars as they move on to play the Edmonton Oilers in the Western Conference. That play kind of got me in a little bit of trouble last night. So after the concert, went to eat at this Mexican restaurant in Wynwood called Bacan, and the TV was behind me, and 2 bad ones came out of the bathroom walking. They walked by me, and then I heard there was a kerfluffle going on the TV, and I was trying to wait because I didn't want to look back right away because they had just passed me. I was like, gotta wait. So I waited for, 10, 15 seconds, turned around and looked to see who scored and who won because I was in a loud restaurant. I couldn't tell. And immediately as I turned back around, I get, why are you looking at hussies? I said, I'm not. I was looking at the score of the game. Those 2 women left a long time ago. She's like, yeah, I know what you were doing. Trying to see who won the game. Vlad, would you have looked back?
Damn right I would.
Probably you'd have probably looked back right away.
Absolutely. And I'll be like, yeah, I got eyes. You look at men too. Don't get it twisted.
I got this one. How would your mother feel about that? I go, I'd have pointed him out to my mother. Big Lynn, she don't mind.
My mom would be like, yo, you see, that's
you should talk to them.
Yeah.
That's Big Lynn's thing. You should go talk to them. Just walk up. Just go talk to them. Okay?
Ladies.
Another great.
I love you. I love them. But God, they're so insecure.
Another great matchup yesterday. We won a bet, or at least I won a bet. Journalism. I bet on journalism my whole life, and for the most part, I've won, and it helped me in the 150th Preakness yesterday.
Journalism has recovered and is coming. Journalism, a sensational run despite traffic. Gosger was second, then Sandman third.
Did you say sensational?
Sensational. He was in the middle of the pack. He looked like he was dead in the water, and all of a sudden at the end, Journalism comes back and wins. It's 2 for 2. I had the Stars winning. I had Journalism winning. It was a great race. I was getting texts from everybody. Heat Colt was texting me. I had Nathan texting me. Well, of course, I had the bet going on that one too. So it was exciting, man. Journalism gets a big win. Last but not least, Vlad, your guy, Max Verstappen, returning to form earlier today.
Well, but for Max Verstappen, who sees the checkered flag in sight, what a race for the Dutchman, who makes it 4 wins in a row in Imola. Lando Norris crosses the line in second, chasing down his rival, but in the end, 6 seconds adrift. And Oscar Piastri, having started on pole, the race not going his way, having to work hard at it, manages to come home with a podium and extends his championship lead. Lewis Hamilton with a brilliant result up inside the top 4.
That's a day right there. Max Verstappen. He did not have the pole. You heard what they were saying. Was it Max? Not Max. I was going to say Oscar Piastri had the pole. Literally within the first couple of seconds.
Boom.
Max said, whoop. No, I'm not looking back. Whoop. Done. Championship. 4
Max
times in a row.
had a child. Max is happy, man. He's in a nice.
He just had a child. And
he's in a nice stage in his life right now.
Probably now. I don't know the updated rankings. He was 4th going into today. He's probably 3rd or 2nd.
2nd or 1st, probably.
Because no, they said Oscar Piastri still holds. Piastri still holds 1st.
So he's probably gonna be 2nd.
2nd or 3rd.
Yeah.
Look,
we're still early.
It's a long season. You got a lot of winning to do. Got a lot more winning to do for 2 more hours. Hang tight. This is Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
and Miami Hurricanes basketball.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Yeah. Feel that chain now. Yeah. Shonda Paul. So me go so then. Well, I don't really care what
I don't want to get too far off topic or too far ahead of myself, but I do want to look ahead to September 7th. We'll get back to the Panthers, who are playing at 7:30 tonight. That's a little more imminent, but I want to talk to you about this right now, Vlad.
September 7th, is that a Sunday?
That is a Sunday at 1 o'clock as the Dolphins are in Indianapolis to play the Colts for game 1 of their season. I'm here to tell you the Dolphins will win that game. And I'll tell you a couple of reasons why I believe that. Number one, it's the first game of the year. Hopefully most people are healthy.
Hold on. So you're telling me on May 18th?
Yes.
Why the Dolphins are going to win the first game of the season?
Yes.
And there hasn't been there was a mini camp. There hasn't been a training camp, 1 day of training camp, a roster cut, all of that hasn't even happened yet. Hasn't happened. Hasn't even started. And you're going to tell me why the Dolphins will win week 1 versus the Colts?
Yes.
And I hope you're not going to tell me because nobody know who the Colts quarterback is. Because, as of May 18th, you don't know who the quarterback is. But I think by September 7th, you're going to know who the quarterback is.
They don't know who the quarterback is, and it's probably not going to be that great of a quarterback. We will most likely have a quarterback that is healthy.
Anthony Richardson was kind of doing y'all dirty last season until he got hurt.
I'm not even going to justify that.
I mean, the game wasn't. I mean, I know you're going to say you guys didn't have Tua, which is absolutely true.
Yes.
But I don't think you should just jump out the window and just say that they're going to win.
Must I remind you
week
that
1.
Tim Boyle pass? My favorite NFL
that's
pass of all time.
Listen, that's one of our favorite plays of all time. That's like that's our little inside joke.
That poor boom mic operator. Oh! Tyreek literally probably ran 15 yards down the field, turned around, and realized the punt team was coming onto the field. Oh, no, it was fourth down. So the defense.
Remember what I asked you?
They're like, "Was that? Did they call that? They blow that dead?" You asked me if they blew it dead.
I didn't know. I was like, that wasn't a play on fourth down, was it? Did it? And you're like, and your face just said, "No, man, that's Tim Boyle." But that's what I'm saying. We can't just jump. You can't just jump out the gate and think that they're gonna win week 1. Listen, this team after our show last night or yesterday when we were talking about the We talked about the Dolphins and the schedule. We went through the schedule for the 2025 season. They got winnable. They got games that they have a lot of 50-50 games. But the only reason why we're saying it's 50-50 because you don't know really how this roster is going to look because there's a lot of changes that's been made from the 2024 season.
You also don't know where the leadership on this roster is going to be coming from.
That's already been established when Calais left.
And Teron Armstead retired.
You're right. So we know Jalen's going to leave. But once I need to know what that team's going to look like before I really say this is a win or loss. I know we did it yesterday because, it was a segment and whatever. But barring any injuries, like I would say, if we're going to play this in arcade mode, I think a lot of teams will like their chances.
And I know it's on the road. It's on the road, but you got to feel as though you're probably going to be good with Tua Tagovailoa. First game of the year, should be healthy. You don't really know.
We hope.
Huge question mark. I know, of course, with the Colts. You feel as though Mike McDaniel, he's got a full bag of tricks that haven't been figured out yet for a new season. You figure for the most part, you should be healthy. And maybe you're just being a homer, but you should be slightly a better team.
Yeah, you being a homer.
Okay.
I mean, they should be the better team. But favorites don't always cover or win in week 1. So who knows? I'm not going to, we did it yesterday. We say if I have to go by talent and the number 1 position quarterback, I'm going to take Tua over Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones any day of the week, twice on Sundays.
Yes.
So that's why I'm going to go with the Dolphins. But there's a lot of other games during that and during their schedule. During the season that if Tua was equal to that quarterback, that's those 50-50 games. Now, will I take Tua over Michael Penix? Yes, but only because he has experience.
For right now.
That's
getting too far ahead, though.
Right. That Atlanta-Miami game, I think it's a 50-50 game. I think the Commanders Miami game's a 50-50 game because the game is going to be played in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh 50-50 game.
Yes.
You're losing to Baltimore. You're losing to
Pittsburgh's
Cincinnati.
a 50-50 game. I appreciate that. That makes me feel better as a Dolphins fan.
If Mason Rudolph is the quarterback of the Steelers, I like the damn chances of the Dolphins.
Man, Mike Tomlin though is just so good. Mike Tomlin is.
Yeah, but you know what, Dan? You said that the second half of that schedule is kind of tough.
The second half is
if it lives up if those teams live up to their expectations.
The good thing is if the Dolphins can stay healthy enough and win those what we call 50-50 games, because like we said, Dolphins, Colts, you have to have a feeling that we can beat the Colts, and the Colts vice versa. They're saying, oh, we can beat the Dolphins at home, first game of the year. Dolphins, Patriots.
I think every team had the chance, had the belief that they can win the first game of the year.
Okay, but I'm saying Dolphins, Patriots. Okay, we can beat the Patriots. Patriots sitting there going, we got Mike Vrabel now. We can do this. Dolphins, Bills. We're going to skip over that one. Dolphins, Jets. Come on, man. You got to feel like
3 division games out the gate, bro. If you go lose,
Mike McDaniel. Don't slip up.
Mike McDaniel, you can win that Colts game. Don't lose those next 3.
Don't slip up because that would be hot. His britches will be burning.
Dude, you're 0-3 in the division?
Britches would be burning if you beat the Colts, lose to the Patriots, Bills, and Jets 3 games in a row. Ooh. Britches would be burning. That's a doomsday scenario. Then we can't really get any further ahead of that. But yeah, I am confident as far out as I am right now with the first game of the season against the Colts. Of course, as it gets closer, I reserve the right to change that comment.
Of course, as you get closer and you see injuries that happen, signings or cuts that were made, yeah, you could change your mind.
Maybe make a big splash somewhere. I don't know.
It's not like you put a wager on it right now.
Oh, no, I'm not a futures guy. I don't even know what tomorrow holds. Nonetheless, let's get some more imminent moments. It is Game 7 Sunday. Game 7 Sunday, 7:30 tonight's the one we're really worried about. Panthers, Maple Leafs. They're doing battle in Toronto. At 3:30, though, you get the Thunder and the Nuggets with both teams looking to extend their season. Unfortunately, Denver's Aaron Gordon, he has a grade 2 hamstring strain and most likely will not play. So sucks. You'd like to see both teams at full strength just going at it. It's going to be in Oklahoma City.
I mean, no team's going to be at full strength to come into this stage of the playoffs, but you just want every able body, especially if it's an important player on this team. I don't want to call him a role player because he's not a role player. He's just a player. Like Aaron Gordon's that guy. Like whatever you need.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him a role player.
Right.
Like he's a starter.
I kind of want to. Is he a star?
Important piece of this team.
Is he a star? Maybe not, but
important piece of this team.
Like, yeah, he's a major contributor to this team.
He's made at least two big time clutch.
And who's going to guard? And he's the guy that was guarding Shea.
He's got the build for it too. Yeah, he's a tough, assignment as far as offense and
Thunder's
defense.
favored by 8, bro.
Thunder's favored by 8 in the game 7.
I mean, without Aaron Gordon there, that's critical.
That's a lot of points right there.
Critical. You're talking about their best defensive player.
Told you the Dallas Stars got me in trouble last night when those two bad ones walked by me. They scored in overtime to get a 2-1 win and a series win over President's Trophy winners Winnipeg. The Winnipeg Jets are out. And now you have the Dallas Stars and Edmonton Oilers in the Western Conference Finals. In the Eastern Conference Finals, the Carolina Hurricanes are sitting in and waiting to see what happens tonight.
By the way, I need to ask you this. You didn't see your boy last night on Saturday Night Live?
Baboni?
Yeah.
He was doing some acting and he was doing some singing.
He hosted the show, right?
No. He just performed in certain skits.
Oh, who was the?
I don't know.
Who was the headline? Wasn't it Bad Money the headline?
No. Oh. Somebody was the host. He was just in some of the skits. He's done this before on Saturday Night Live, and he performed from his new album or his newer album that came out in January.
That boy just lives in New York now.
I'm starting to think he does because he was at every Knicks game. It seemed like in this second round, and he was at the Met Gala. And he earlier in January said, I'm staying in Puerto Rico for a whole year. And that is definitely not true, but business. He got that Calvin Klein endorsement that he's.
So he likes looking at himself at Times Square. And
he's gotten swole, man. He's put on some muscle.
Yeah, he worked with WWE.
That's right. He's a WWE guy too.
Yeah, I think he might wrestle this year again.
That's the rumor.
Him and Travis Scott are supposed to get in the ring.
Travis Scott is another person that is omnipresent. He is everywhere you look.
I'm kind of getting a little sick and tired of him.
All right. Dolphins rookie 7th round pick. Quarterback Quinn Ewers. Some people think Quinn Ewers could be QB2. We even had somebody on the text line say QB1.
What the hell did you pay Zach Wilson for?
Well, why did Zach Wilson? Why was he the Jets' number 2 overall pick?
Well, I mean, we were crappy at the quarterback position, and it was a COVID draft, so we had to draft some guys who didn't really play that many games.
Okay, Quinn Ewers,
he's your backup
for now.
Oh, Scarlett Joe hosted Saturday Night Live.
Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, now I gotta watch it. I gotta watch Weekend the update.
Okay,
with Colin Jost and Michael Che.
Oh, he's
because that's her husband.
Michael Che?
No.
Colin Jost?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Colin Jost.
Wait, come on, man.
That would be kind of weird.
But Michael Che is probably trying to get them divorced because he's the one that writes all the questions. Like, when they do the exchange jokes, not the questions, the exchanging of the jokes, every joke is a shot at Scarlett Joe.
I saw Michael Che on Hot Ones one time, and he was hilarious. Every time he ate a hotter and hotter wing, the way he joked about it, but you could tell like it was killing him, bro. Yeah. I want to go on Hot Ones so bad. Wait, I had a chance one time. Crowder, who is actually listening right now, Channing Crowder.
How you know he's listening?
I got my methods. Channing Crowder, Mark Hawkman, Alejandro Solana, and Jimmy Menthols actually did a Hot Ones at Funky Buddha one time.
Who won, Jimmy?
Yep, I'm sure. No, I don't think
Jimmy
there was
Bobby,
a winner or loser.
Jimmy ate it to the bone gristle.
I told you about my Hot Ones experience where one time I was at a wing festival, and they're like, "You got to try Devil's Sweat. It's unbelievably hot." And I was like, First
of all, did you not hear the name of the sauce?
Because I was eating some hot wings. Because basically, you just went from booth to booth and got wings. Yes, of course I heard the name.
So what made you think you want to taste the Devil's Sweat? That's just, first of all, I don't even like the Devil's Sweat. No.
I had been eating some hot ones, and people were like, if you really like hot, nothing touches Devil's Sweat. And I said, man, I got this. And my friend, he's like, yeah, I'll do it with you. This is when I should have had a red flag besides the Devil's Sweat. When people started circling around and taking video before I ate it, I should have known something was wrong.
Oh, you got lined up.
I ate it, and at first I was like, I'm okay.
Wait a minute.
I'm okay.
But Dan, you saw that you got lined up. Why don't you
it was happening fast.
So it does. Don't be the butt of their joke.
Possibly some drinking going on before that.
You shouldn't be the butt of people's jokes.
I don't wasn't a butt. It was they want to see if I died. They want to see if I died.
That means you're the butt of people's jokes.
So
if they already rushed out the camera to record you probably dying, that's not people trying to help you.
Once again, I'm not a very detail-oriented person. I'm a results-driven individual. I find that very charming and also very successful. Nonetheless, so me, my friend, and a girl that was with us wanted to do it. I took it and I was like, oh, that's not that bad. Then my eyes started swirling in my head. And I ran to the beer tent. My friend and I skipped everybody in the line. I don't know how much money I put down, but they gave me a beer. He drank almost all of it. I drank some of it. And I think I blacked out for about 2 or 3 minutes. So finally I started coming about and my mouth started cooling off.
Yeah.
And I was walking and I caught my friend and I was like, yo, dude, what was that? He was like, it's the hottest thing I've ever had in my life. And we were walking by the woman's bathroom and I hear a girl coming out going, there's some girl in there with her face underneath the faucet, just running water nonstop. I was like,
that was your homegirl.
That was the girl that ate the Devil's Sweat. Rough times, man. Would I do it again?
Fam, it's called Devil's Sweat.
The question is, would I do it again? No.
You must not. If you're going to do it again, you must not love your taste bud.
No, I don't want to do it again. I blacked out. I told you.
I'm saying, so if you were thinking of, that's what I'm saying. If you were thinking of doing it again, you must not love your taste buds.
When your eyes swirl in your head.
Yeah, when you say your eyes are sweating, like
swirling,
like
like you're messed up, like your body was trying to fight off whatever was going on.
You sure that was a Devil's Sweat? It wasn't ecstasy?
No, man, I did not have residual fun effects afterwards. It was just like, I do love some hot wings.
Was your homegirl Molly? That was under the water.
What was her name? What was her name?
You don't even know her name.
It's man. I mean, it was a winner of a contest at the radio station. Like I don't remember. Beth. Her name was Beth. I can't believe I remember that.
He goes, what? You let your girl drink out of a faucet?
That wasn't my girl. It was a friend.
He ain't claiming her now. All of a sudden, now you know what I'm saying. All of a sudden,
she
starts drinking out of the faucet. She's not claiming.
She also wasn't drinking out of the faucet. She was just pouring water on her face with her face under the faucet. But yeah, no, she wasn't my girl. Nope, not at all. Canes baseball team fell to Notre Dame 12-2.
After.
Did not. Never dated her. Miami will face Cal in the first round of the ACC tournament. That's going to be Tuesday at 9 a.m. So if you're a hardcore Hurricanes fan,
where?
It's going to be in North Carolina.
Oh.
Yep, Raleigh, North Carolina. Right. Sandy Alcantara, he had a rough one yesterday. 4 runs given up in 5 innings. The Marlins fell to the Rays 4-0. The two are underway right now. Let's see how our beloved Marlins are doing. I didn't even see who started. After I saw how bad Sandy did yesterday, or how poorly Sandy did yesterday, I was like, man, I can't take this. It's supposed to start at 1:40. I guess I got to refresh my page. Oh, and then you give me top events. Let's see. I have no clue what's going on. Oh, there, 0-0 in the third.
All that waiting for just a 0-0 score.
No, I can give you some more if you want. Cal Quantrill is pitching a 2-hitter in 2 innings. No runs, obviously. And Eric Wagaman has been.
Marlins got 4 hits in 2 innings and still have no runs. That's crazy.
Dude, they have to do. We went to the game earlier this year, and we're going to go Wednesday. They have to do so much to manufacture a run, and then the other team just gets up there and hits a bomb, and all of a sudden it's tied. Are there the other teams?
No, but they had 4 hits, bro.
Yeah, they're all like singles and, like seeing eye bloopers, and they just 17 and 27. Okay. Nonetheless, Argentine winger Angel Di Maria is leaving Benfica in Portugal, and rumor is that Messi wants him here in Miami. Inter Miami did sign goalkeeper William Yarbrough. In Florida Derby tonight between the Herons and Orlando City at 7:00, right there on Commercial Boulevard. How's Scotty Scheffler doing out there? Nah, he's
still loving on it. He hasn't teed off
by
yet.
3 strokes.
Yeah, he hasn't teed off yet.
Nobody's catching him though. It seems like.
No, but if there's one guy to watch that's going to be exciting, it's probably John Rahm.
Yeah, I was looking at the people. I'm like, John Rahm is that guy. He's only 5 strokes behind.
I love it. So the John Rahm story that I like that they mentioned, like this past week, was the fact that he was kind of wondering, like, damn, why wouldn't Rory talk to me in the final round? And I'm like, hey, bro, I ain't trying to be no friends. I'm trying to win a major. Like, who wants to? That was like that. And I get it. There's some people who want to be social. They want to be personable.
Did the Pilgrims shake hands with the Indians?
But Rory's trying to get his major. He's trying to win that Grand Slam major for him. He's not trying to holler. I don't want to talk to you. Listen,
you like the reference?
I did. I don't want to talk to you.
I
ain't gonna lie, Dan. If you and I were in the final group at a major, I'm not trying to talk to you. Don't talk to me.
No.
I might say good shot, but I'm not having no convo.
I ain't letting nobody get in my head or anything.
I just don't want. I don't want you near my personal space.
No, that's bad mojo,
it's
man.
Just me and my caddy.
Everybody knows bad mojo. Don't mess
around.
My
clubs.
Don't mess around when you got championships on the line in a
career
Grand Slam.
I don't think what Rory did was bad, but yeah,
No.
they talked about it, and then you did see Rory started his final round very early in the morning. So when his round ended, you actually saw John Rahm leaving the practice green, and he actually shook hands with Rory while Rory's putting his stuff in the car and getting ready to leave. So at least it was nice because you could talk to him now, because obviously
when I'm done,
you're done. You're like 2 over and for the round.
We'll fight it out and get a beer later. That's how you do things.
Well, that's probably what John Rahm wanted to do. He probably wanted to, drink some beer
Rory,
afterwards.
you just won. You're paying.
Absolutely.
With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. A Philippines couple ditched traditional paper wedding invitations and sent out loaves of bread invitations. Pretty creative if you think about it.
So what, they sent everybody that wanted to come to the wedding a loaf of bread?
It's a loaf of bread that's sliced, and every slice has, like, you were cordially invited to the such and such wedding, the day, the time, the place, RSVP, and then you could eat the bread. You got to overnight it, though. You don't want to be eating no rotten bread.
They must have money to be doing that.
They must, yeah.
Either that, or they own, or that's a family business.
Some of those Filipino weddings are very, very rococo.
What?
You know what rococo means? Very ornate, very big productions.
Extravagant.
Okay. Rococo. I like the word rococo more.
I don't like that word.
Rococo.
You just should have said extravagant. I would have gotten it.
Are you with me? 305-567-056 here on the YouTube or Twitch. Rococo. Nobody knows about Dumpwater, Florida either yet. So
I know Roku.
Roku?
Yeah.
Different from Rococo. I was looking at Roku last night. I don't want to talk about what I was watching last night. It upsets me. I gotta watch that Karol G documentary again.
Oh, jeez.
Panthers preview next here on 560 WQAM. All right, my dude Alex over there. I see him every once in a while at Duffy's Implantation. He came through Dumpwater, Florida. It is a reference from the show Married with Children, where the Bundys go on a vacation to Dumpwater, Florida, and there's an axe murderer there. You don't remember that, Bud?
Nah, the only one I remember is when they were supposed to go on vacation. They didn't get past like a mile past their house. They were stuck in traffic. Like for the whole weekend, they ended up just turning back around.
What a show, man. What a show.
Hey, man. Legends. Boy, it's sad that Bud Bundy never became big. Ed O'Neill had a second show. Modern Family. Katie Seagal was on Sons of Anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Christina Applegate became a Hollywood star.
She's been in TV and movies.
She was Anchorman. You know, what's her name? What's the name of her character?
Oh,
Veronica. Was it Veronica Simmons? Something like Veronica.
She was on Anchorman. I forgot. about that.
Yeah. And but yeah, David Faustino nothing ever happened of his career.
He got crapped on the show and then kind of crapped on in life, I guess. Well, Colombian Lex, I appreciate that so much, man, that you caught the reference. But yeah, everybody kind of had a second act. Bud Bundy. What are you gonna do? Tonight's the big one, though. 7:30, Game 7, the second most exciting 2 words in sports. Of course, the number 1 most exciting 2 words in sports.
Veronica Corningstone was her name.
That's not Veronica Corningstone. That's not the most 2 exciting.
I'm just talking about Christina Applegate's name in Game 7.
What was it?
Anchorman. Game 7 is the second
most exciting 2 words.
Most exciting 2 words in all the sports. The number 1 word is world champion.
Number 1 exciting, most 2 words.
World champion. Like that's it.
Yeah.
That's what you're playing for. That's what they're playing for. And the Panthers are trying to defend their Stanley Cup title in a hostile environment.
Let's
Game
go.
7 in Toronto.
Let's go. Jordan McPherson of the Miami Herald wrote an article earlier and talking about how we got to this point. Of course, by now you should know how we got to this point. Toronto took the first 2 at home. We took the next 2 at home. Game 3 was in overtime. We got a 2-0 win in Game 4. Game 5, we won on the road and had high hopes that we could close it out in Game 6. Nope, we lost 2-0 in Game 6. That brings us to Game 7 tonight at 7:30. Let's do Panthers all-time in Game 7s. Panthers 5th Game 7 all-time. Florida 3-1 all-time in winner-take-all games in the playoffs, including 2-0 when the game is played on the road. All right, Vlad. 3rd consecutive postseason, Florida is playing in Game 7. The Panthers beat the Boston Bruins. We all remember that on the road. First round, 2023 playoffs, went all the way to the finals that year. Then the Edmonton Oilers, of course, last year at home, 2024 Stanley Cup Finals. Toronto Maple Leafs. Now, this is where it gets exciting. The all-time record in Game 7s. 28th all-time Game 7, which is second most by any team in the NHL's history, behind only the Boston Bruins, 31. Toronto is 12-15 all-time in Game 7s, including a 7-3 mark at home. Eesh. Although they have lost their past 2 Game 7s at home at the arena. A 2-1 loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round 2022 and a 3-1 loss to Montreal in the first round 2021. In fact, the Maple Leafs haven't won a Game 7 since 2024. So do you look at it as that they have bad history with Game 7s? Or do you look at it as they're due?
Time out.
Well, hold up. I was asking a question.
You just said something that it made no sense.
Mm-hmm.
You said that they last lost a Game 7 at home in 2022 in 2021.
I said,
or they last lost Game 7s in the last 2
at
Game
their
7s
home arena.
Right. So when was the last time they won? Because you said the last time they won
they haven't won a Game 7 since 2004.
You said 2024.
Oh well, I'm not going to make a joke about that, but I'm just going to say I misread that one.
Okay, that's all I was just trying to say. I was like, oh, wait a minute.
So they haven't won a Game 7 since 2004.
Okay, so 21 years.
You should have known in 2024 they didn't have a Game 7.
I don't remember what they did last year.
You should be following the Toronto Maple Leafs.
I'm not following the Maple Leafs at all.
Game.
What's wrong with you?
You love that city.
Doesn't mean I love the team.
Just messing with you. So are they due, or do they just have a bad history with Game 7?
No, I think they're gonna crap the bed, bro. I just think it's better for Toronto, a team like Toronto, when they lose. That's when they garner a lot of the, the interest of garner more interest from their fan base. Because listen, as a fan, take it from a guy who's most of his teams, other than the Yankees, usually crap the bed and bring him disappointment. When your team does good, you don't know how to act because you're not used to it. So, do you understand the Toronto Maple Leafs get to the Eastern Conference Final and is hosting the Eastern Conference Finals on Tuesday?
It'll probably be similar to what Knicks fans are doing. the other night.
Exactly.
I mean, it's kind of the same difference.
It's literally the same. It's the Spider-Man meme.
It's New York,
Toronto,
Canada.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time.
Yeah.
And the fan bases are very rabid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they're celebrating something. Hey, look, I'm all for celebrating everything, much less going to an Eastern or Western Conference Finals. Paul Maurice in Game 7s. Talked about this yesterday. 5-0 in Game 7s, making him one of 2 coaches in NHL history to each of the first 5 career Game 7s make them wins. The other one, of course, Dallas's coach Pete DeBoer. He's 9-0 all time.
So you really don't want to face either. Let me tell you this. If Dallas and Florida get to the Stanley Cup Finals and it's 7 games, I really want to see who you're going to go with.
I mean, mathematically,
you're going with Peter DeBoer.
He's 9-0. I love Game 7.
He's almost had.
He tried to lose last night. He wanted to get
I think he was trying to lose last night just to get.
He's like, I know I got Game 7.
Let's go to 10-0. Let me double up on Paul.
Keep that stat rolling. Notable players, of course, you got to expect the stars to be the stars. Brad Marchand, he's got to come up big tonight. You're expecting that.
Not Marchand. I think Marchand's played well. I need a big Matthew Tkachuk game. I need a goal. I need some instigation. Getting under the other team's skin. I need that. I think this is a Matthew Tkachuk game where he scores and he's just going to be a pain in the ass on the team. I think Marchand's going to score as well. And Bob is going to be Bob. 3-1 Panthers. Take the under.
Well, you know, Marchand and the Toronto Maple Leafs fans have no love lost. He is 7-5 all time in Game 7s. And, you know, he's going to be instigating stuff all over the place. The guy I said, man, if we can have a great game from him, that'll be money. Panthers.
Any word on Evan Rodriguez?
I've not seen anything.
I've been looking. I can't find any information on his availability for tonight's game. So
Sergei Bobrovsky is 2-0 all time in Game 7s.
That's good. You always like when there's not a quick letter on the right-hand column.
That's absolutely right.
Or a quick number on the right-hand column. That's what you want.
Let's get to these overall trends. Do numbers mean anything in Game 7? I mean, over the long run, they do, but for individual games, I don't know if so much. Sunday's game between the Panthers and the Maple Leafs will be the 201st Game 7 in NHL history. Some notable trends and themes from the first 200. The team that scores first, once again, I said scoring first is important, 150-50. So 75% of the time, whoever scores first at Game 7 goes on to win that game. Whoo! Home team has won 59% of the time in all those 200 games in Game 7. 52% of Game 7s have been decided by 1 goal.
So
6 of the past 7.
So 52% you said?
Yeah.
And 6 of the last 7?
6 of the last 7.
So okay, this is gonna be a very close game.
25% of Game 7s have gone to overtime, with the home team winning 54% of those contests.
All right.
So, okay. Logically, let's talk about it. At the beginning of the series, you should have probably thought this was going to be a 7-game series. 2 very equal teams, 2 teams with a lot of pride and a lot to play for, back and forth. That's logical. Unlogically, illogically, I would say, Panthers, we got this in 6. Logically, tonight, it looks like it's going to be a back and forth game, and it's going to be a 1-goal game. But illogically, you want to say, Panthers 3-4-1, right? Bobrovsky, he's got this. Paul Maurice, they know what they're doing. Matthew Tkachuk, he's going to instigate. Great. I get a feeling we got a 1-goal game coming this way tonight, Vlad. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
You're about to say, yeah, it's probably going to be.
I mean, it's going to be.
It'll be exciting. Buckle up.
I'm not nervous, though.
Buckle up.
I'm not nervous.
Okay. I thought you said for a second there, I'm Matt Mervis. I was like, oh, really?
Oh, my God. I'm being sent down?
No, not yet. He was 0 for 3 yesterday, though.
No, that means I'm very close to being sent down.
But Panthers game should be close and tight. Just hold tight. Believe in Paul Maurice and these guys. You have to believe they're excited and know what they're doing. Up next, going to do something or nothing here on 560 WQAM.
Out, download it today and make WQAM your favorite station.
Still Snoop Dogg and D.I.
Getting down with some something or nothing. Gonna run through some headlines and Vlad will let me know whether it's something or nothing at all. Boston Celtics Jaylen Brown, it is revealed that he has a partial tear in his meniscus. Is that something or nothing?
It's nothing.
Shoot, it's an off-season hell for the Celtics.
I mean,
man.
LeBron had the same injury, and if people are gonna rip him.
No one should get ripped for getting injured.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't. When teams lose or they lose in a certain way, they don't want to hear any type of excuses sometimes or reasoning for
I think it's a Boston
why they
fan.
lost.
You're just like, man, our two best players dealing with injuries.
It happens.
Ugh. Rafael Devers. He's happy at DH. Remember when he threw a big stink and he didn't want to go to DH?
Damn, he is pissed. I think he had to talk to Red Sox owner about his displeasure of being asked to go to first base, I believe, because he wanted to play third base, but they gave it to Alex Bregman. So he said, all right, I'll be a DH, but he doesn't want to be a first baseman.
Well, he hit a walk-off home run for Boston yesterday against Atlanta. So feeling good. I just found this out. I had no clue. Olivia Rodrigo. She is Filipino, German, and Irish. Did you have any idea?
No, I didn't care.
I thought with a name like Olivia Rodrigo, and she was from California, that she would have some type of Latin heritage.
You really think that's her real name?
Well, I just assumed. Look at her. She's
an
beautiful.
entertainer. They all have entertainers' names, bro.
She's beautiful.
I bet you that's not really her name.
Okay, let's see. I bet it is. I'm just guessing. But I mean, Olivia Isabel Rodrigo. Okay.
Oh, I guess that's her name.
So she's Filipino. Her dad's Filipino, and her mom's German and Irish. Wow. I just learned that. I just thought that was something interesting to pass along. Had no clue. No clue. Love Olivia Rodrigo. Fantastic. La Baboni. He released a new video. Que tu te crees? In that video, Vlad, you'll like this. He cheers up his friend that is a frog named Concho and some strippers. Something or nothing.
Was it a Diddy party? What the hell's going on here?
He's got his friend that's a frog and some strippers.
He's got a friend that's a frog.
Yeah, so the kind of the
so
theme,
the stripper's supposed to kiss the frog to turn the friend into a prince?
Kind of the theme behind the whole album, and when you watch the videos, is there's this one common theme of a frog, Concho, that runs around. So he kind of cheers up Concho and at the same time cheers up some strippers. It's important that you spread cheer and love in the world. Bad Bunny. That's what he's doing. Heather Donahue. You don't know who she is, probably.
No.
But you do know who she is. She was the star of the Blair Witch Project back in 1999.
Still don't remember.
She's getting some heat because in Maine, where they filmed the Blair Witch Project, she gives tours, but she puts up markers to kind of let them know so they don't get lost again in the Blair Witch Project. And locals don't like that. Something or nothing.
Wait, the locals don't like the fact that she's putting markers so that people don't get...
Well, she's leading the tours, so she is benefiting from these tours.
Okay.
They don't
So
like
what?
the markers in the woods.
I don't know. I think I like the markers. I would like markers in the woods if I'm being...
And we know those woods have a history.
If I'm hiking up those woods, yeah, no, or I'm being led by a tour guide. I don't want to be...
Yeah, blindly walking.
Yeah.
Were you a Blair Witch Project fan?
I watched it. I thought the first one was all right.
Oh, I only watched the first one.
That was it. But then, I mean, I'm not all into people in the woods just walking around with the camera all up in their grill. I can see that, like their nostril hair and the whole nine. I'm cool on that.
It's true. China has a new attraction that lets you pay to sleep on the side of a 320-foot cliff.
Yeah, people just want to die, dog.
Listen to this. So there's a weight limit, of course. And if you're under the age of 14, you have to sleep with an adult. But here's the kicker that I like. It's only $13 a night to stay there. It's pretty good. $13?
$13 to sleep on the side.
On the edge of a cliff, yeah.
Nah, I'm cool.
Okay. A man in France breaks the world record for driving without a license or insurance. Goes 28 years without getting caught. Something or nothing.
That man deserves a standing ovation, man.
Not anymore. He got caught now, man. No.
28 years, bro?
He's a good driver, man.
28 years.
28 years. Imagine like day one. Ooh.
28 years? How did he get caught? Was it DUI?
No, they caught him speeding.
You gotta be more.
Imagine day one, you get out there and you're like, oh, I got to drive carefully. My license, I don't have a license. I don't have insurance. 28 years later, oh man, I had a good run.
Nah, man, you can't be damn speeding. Come on.
It happens. A British man who is vying to be the world's strongest man. He has a full-time job. He has a family. He works out in his backyard for hours a day. And get this, he eats around 8,000 calories a day.
Whew, that's nothing because The Rock eats a ridiculous amount of calories a day.
I don't even think I eat 8,000 calories a week.
I can. It just won't show.
8,000 calories? You're supposed to eat 2,000 calories a day. 8,000 calories a day? You literally just have to eat all day. And I know you have to fuel your muscles. I've been talking to some more muscular people lately, and I'm like, I work out like 5-6 days a week. Well, I'm not getting bigger. Like, gotta eat all the time. Gotta eat like to the point where you start like not feeling good. I'm like, sounds like a lot of dedication to be kind of bulky. I don't know. I don't know. Last but not least, I sent you an email about this. Toxie. Her name is Toxii.
I don't like the name.
She used to have kind of a Valley girl look. In 4 years, she has completely modified and changed her body. These body modification things, I understand. Completely body modifying is a little strange.
Yo, she split her tongue.
Yeah, well, they all do that. Yeah, it's a snake
Hey,
tongue.
yo.
Yeah, it's kind of scary. She also like took her nose off.
Wait, is that her looking like?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
You see the picture at the top where she's blonde headed?
Yeah, now she looks like some creature from a movie.
She's got a body. Her whole body.
Well,
is
even the picture on top, you could tell she was already starting to use plastic surgery.
Yeah, she maybe just addicted to the plastic.
Yeah,
surgery.
that's a little too much, man. Don't send me that again.
It's scary, isn't it?
Toxie looks toxic.
That's the name, though. That's the thing.
She looks
how does that start? What is that? What is that? What?
I mean, all I could do is speculate, but that's like a lot of lack of self-confidence.
Does she make money online, like as a influencer?
I don't know because her face, she really effed up her face, bro.
It's and the body and the tattoo and the ink and everything and the modifications. I think it's like an addiction, like plastic surgery. Like you start getting it, it looks good, you want more. Next thing you know, your whole body is modified. Is there ever a point you get to that modification or the plastic surgery? You go, oh, good. I think I got it. This is good.
Who, me?
Anybody.
I've
never heard anybody be like, oh, no, that's cool. I had a good time. They're always like, oh, I want to get this done too. Or if I could get this done, this done. So I don't get that started. Don't feel like getting that started. Nope. Sorry, Toxie. You're probably a very cool person, but that's just too much. And that right there is something or nothing. Going to come back one more hour of the show to get you ready for Panthers Maple Leafs tonight. This is Sports Day on 560 WQAM.
Defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers, 3-time NBA champion Miami Heat, 5-time national championship winner Miami Hurricanes football, and Miami Hurricanes basketball.
Powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys.
Call 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
I have to be careful not to go down a wormhole here at work. In the last segment, we talked about Olivia Rodrigo, great performer, great actress, being part Filipino. And I Googled her because I wanted to make sure her real name was Olivia Rodrigo. And it goes similar searches: Sabrina Carpenter, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift. I'm going to close that page right now. It's too much for me right now. Do have some text coming in, 305-567-0560. 786 says Filipino people sometimes have Spanish-sounding names, which is interesting because sometimes I've noticed Argentinian people have Italian-sounding names, like Lionel Messi, his wife Antonella Rocuzzo, our coach Javier Mascherano. So interesting. Sometimes, those names kind of bleed over. But yeah, so Olivia Rodrigo, Filipino, Irish, and German. Either way you write it, very talented. Also got some more text coming in, 305-567-0560. A while back, 305 did text in, married with children, Dumpwater, Florida. That is the reference. They did get it. Very, very good. Also, YouTube and Twitch. Jump on in. Have yourself heard. Always love to hear from you. Have a couple of people chiming in right now. Scarlett Johansson was on Saturday Night Live. She was great. Bad Bunny was hilarious. Vlad, I'm serious. If the Knicks get to the finals, I have a reservation at the Marriott Marquis, Times Square, overlooking the parade route. Wild one.
I'm there, bro. No, I'm there. I'm letting you know right now. Like, I'm there. The parade, yeah. That's a bucket list thing for me.
Whew, that just, because everything that comes with it. First of all, it's the party, it's the celebration, it's the greatness, but it's also that you won a championship. So there you go. Platinum Sword says The Rock eats anabolic chicken. What does that mean? I don't know.
You try to say you take roids, man.
I know. These guys are girls that eat tons and tons of calories a day to bulk up. It blows my mind, man.
You know what? They're oh my God. That's a lot of calories, man. I mean, you go into the bathroom a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I got friends that juiced up, or they still do probably juice up. Man, and they eat high protein foods because, you got to get your biggest bang for your buck. You can't eat low protein foods and then all you're doing is shoving celery down your mouth. I was going to say something else, but
Yeah, good save.
No, I really wasn't going to. I'd never do that.
Why are you lying?
That is true. The Philippines were a Spanish colony. The U.S. got it during the Spanish-American War.
Some of the most beautiful women in the world are Filipino
women. Filipino women are considered Asian.
They are Asian, but they can speak Spanish, and they have Spanish last names.
Yeah.
Yes. I had an ex who was Filipino.
So the big wins during the Spanish-American War from April to August of 1898. I did a book report on this one. Puerto Rico,
you pass?
Guam, and the Philippines, United States. U.S. Grant making his name known as president at that time. Mm-hmm.
Ulysses
S. Grant. Now, that's honestly just trivia knowledge that I've gained over the years with the Spanish-American War. I actually retained something. That's pretty impressive, though. Yep. And most Filipino people love the United States. That's what I was told. They love Vlad, so that's important. That's all that really matters at the end of the day. They love Vlad. Hopefully we're loving this Game 7 tonight as the Panthers and the Maple Leafs do battle in Toronto. Just a couple of minutes at 3:30. We get Game 7 between the Thunder and the Nuggets. We know Aaron Gordon for the Nuggets has some hamstring issues that will most likely keep him sidelined. We will keep an eye on that. Dallas Stars, no Game 7, even though Pete DeBoer has great record in Game 7s. They're going to the Western Conference Finals, taking down President's Trophy's winners, Winnipeg Jets, 2-1 last night in overtime. Exciting game last night. Dallas Stars moving on against the Edmonton Oilers. Dallas has not had an easy road through these playoffs, man. They have had some hard-fought first two rounds of series. It doesn't look like it's going to be any easier against Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, those guys with the Edmonton Oilers. But Dallas, this is kind of your year. You really, really, really have to put the screws to people and get these wins. Dolphins' 7th-round quarterback Quinn Ewers has signed a $3 million deal with the Panini America for exclusive rights to his trading cards. He also received his official number 14 Dolphins jersey last night at the NFLPA rookie premiere. So they had a bunch of rookies there and they premiered their jerseys, gave him a jersey. It looked like a soiree is all I would say. I didn't really know.
A soiree?
Yeah, it's like just guys kind of sitting around looking at their jerseys saying, it's official. I was like, oh, does the NFLPA really need to throw that out there? Just wait till you get your jersey at the beginning of the season. But I don't know. We'll see. Mario Cristobal says Carson Beck's elbow injury was a blessing in disguise because it gave him a chance to assess his career and transfer to the U. Now, Beck had committed at one point in his high school career to Miami, but of course decommitted and changed that to Georgia, where he played and won 2 national championships.
So what if he didn't have the shoulder injury? What would have happened? He would have stayed in Georgia?
Might have stayed at Georgia. Yeah.
Could he have not stayed in Georgia? Or they were moving on? Georgia, Kirby Smart said they were moving on.
Oh, I'm sure if they won a national championship or even got to the national championship, he would have stayed.
I think if he wins the national title, he's going to the pros. Because depending on how you played, look at what happened with the Ohio State quarterback. Because of his play in the postseason, that's how he was. I guess he got drafted, right? Like in the 5th or 6th round.
Financially though, good idea for Carson Beck to come back and make $4 million as opposed
to made 10
in your first year as a quarterback.
They said they were people that would have offered him.
Oh, you're talking about at college?
Yeah.
But I'm talking about even just.
Oh no, in the pros, no. I mean, you get drafted. I mean, it all depends, man. You're paying professional. You're earning a check, but it may not be the same amount of moolah that you would have made if you stayed in college.
Like Shedeur Sanders and Quinn Ewers could have stuck around one more year and made so much
Shedeur doesn't need it though.
No, Shedeur doesn't.
More so than I don't even know if Ewers needs it as well. But
well, he's already got $3 million now for that Panini America exclusive rights deal, and he already had a deal with them previously. So yeah.
That's the other, but that's a great thing about it is though, Kuzan, because look, if you've already got an NIL deal with these guys in college and then you get drafted in the pros, they're gonna be like, well, now you're a pro. Let's continue this relationship.
Yeah. And that is cool too, though, that some of these guys are like, why'd they go pro? They missed out on a lot of money. And then you might realize, like, oh, guys like Shedeur Sanders probably already have $5 million in the bank. They're ready to move on to the next step in life. So I'm not going to try to say, what's an extra $7 million or $5 million. I understand that financially that makes sense. But maybe these guys, they've made enough money that they're saying, I'm ready for the next step in my life. I'm willing to take that pay cut to fulfill a dream and possibly make more in the NFL. I can see that. I'll let it go. I mean, and like I said, if you just go by the numbers, yes. If hindsight's 20/20, yes. But there's more to play than that. And I respect all of these young men and women's decisions whenever they go on to the next step in life. So I wish them all the best. I wish the Saints would have drafted Shedeur Sanders, especially now that Derek Carr has retired and won't be able to throw a football anymore because Spencer Rattler ain't going to be doing it. And I don't think Tyler Shaw is really going to be making it happen. And the third string quarterback, what's he going to do? Could have drafted Shedeur Sanders. No, we got the guy from Louisville, Tyler Shaw. Guy's got a cannon. He's 25 years old. Canes baseball team, they fell to Notre Dame 12-2 yesterday. Miami will face Cal in the first round of the ACC tournament Tuesday at 9.
So if they lose that, are they out?
Yep, it's one and done in the ACC tournament.
But are they going to make it to the College World Series?
Most likely, yes. I would guess if they win a game or two in the ACC tournament, they could bump up to a 2 seed in the regional, not host a regional, but it'd be a 2 seed. I think if they lose, they'll be somewhere 3, possibly 4.
But if they win, they could host?
No, I think hosting's out of the question.
Or maybe a game, maybe?
No. I think
there'll be so there's no Coral Gables.
There will not be a Coral Gables regional. No.
Okay.
I don't see how you can have the season you have and end the way that you did and be rewarded a regional. Even if you win the ACC tournament, I think you're a high 2 seed. You're a high 2 seed.
All right.
And they also take into account attendance and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that attendance isn't good at the U, but there are schools that have probably higher.
Yeah, bring Florida State, Florida, FAU, the U, and some SEC school. They'll fill it up. Because it's like, how many teams are in the region?
4.
4. Yeah, I just named you 4 teams. There you go. Boom.
You said Florida will be in
Florida Atlantic.
Is Florida Atlantic? I don't know what their record is like.
I know they usually are good in baseball. for the most part.
So you get Florida at the 1 seed, Florida Atlantic at the 4 seed, Miami as the 3 seed, and then they don't want to reward Florida with a home regional.
Oh, Florida's the higher ranked.
Florida
team.
would be the
Yeah.
They
Okay,
have a
then.
bigger stadium.
So then UM probably gonna have to go to the Gainesville region.
Right.
I would go to Gainesville for a regional.
Oh,
To
regionals.
go support the Canes.
Regionals are awesome, man. I've been a many a regional. No, I haven't traveled for regionals. I just stayed right there and watched them. But it'd be nice, man. Next year, JT Arteaga towards the end of the season started getting things going. Next year, let's keep it going. Maybe start hosting some regionals, some super regionals even. That would be just super great. Sandy Alcantara had a rough one yesterday. The Marlins fell 4-0. They're playing right now. The Marlins are up 3-1. Otto Lopez hit a 3-run home run to put them up 3-1. Matt Mervis got a double. Eric Wagaman got a double also. Connor Norby hit into a ground play. Okay, well, then that's not the best. But yeah, so Jesus Sanchez 1 for 3. Connor Norby 1 for 3. Okay. Kyle Stowers batting 300. He's been our best player this year. He's 0 for 2 right now. So we'll see. Hopefully the Marlins can get this win. Anything you get a win with the Marlins right now, you got to feel good about. We just would hope Sandy Alcantara can start getting back into form. Of course, we'll be at the game Wednesday, 1:10 first pitch against the Chicago Cubs. That should be a fun one. Midday action.
Can't wait.
Inter Miami, they have the Florida Derby tonight against Orlando City. It's 7 o'clock right there at Chase Stadium. We're expecting Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez, Sergio Busquets, Jordi Alba, who just signed that 2-year extension. Like I said, if you want to look into things, if Jordi Alba signed a 2-year extension, it would kind of make sense that Messi's going to be around for at least 2 more years because they're all kind of a package. They seem like kind of a package deal.
Fam, the World Cup's next year. It's
Messi
in Miami.
ain't retiring.
He's not retiring.
He's not retiring until now. The World Cup may be his farewell, his swan song, which probably will be. But
not after not after what Dan Solana just told us earlier today, that in 2030 is the 100 years, it's the centennial World Cup. It'll be the 100th year anniversary of the World Cup.
Yes,
I know he'll be oldest, but I would think if there's a game that's being hosted in Argentina,
one game,
I think they gotta put him out there.
That's his farewell.
That's his farewell, and Argentina plays his last game for Argentina.
So Messi at 36 years old, just hold on for 5 more years. 5 more years.
41. That's all.
Just hold on for 5 more years.
You play next year.
He's got a lot to play for. I mean, he's part owner of the Inter
But I'm
Miami
just
team.
saying,
They've got
no,
a new
you do
stadium.
That's what I'm saying. If you really look at the next 2 World Cups, it's there's nothing that can stain that legacy. That guy's legacy is almost impeccable. But it would be something maybe that he would want to do to help. He's done so much down here to help the sport and then to bring it worldwide.
And I mean, I'll say this right now. Number 1 ranking in all of FIFA, Argentina.
So, and they are the defending World Cup champions.
He'll be there for the
So
one.
if he can win it here, if he wins a second one for Argentina, but does
Why
it
stick around
in the United States, I think
in North America.
Yes, you're right. You're right. I can't forget about Canada and Mexico. Yeah. So if you win in North America and literally for the sport that you're running right now here in the States in North America, I would wonder if there would be still a little fire in him that would want to play the first game in Argentina.
No better way to walk off than winning a second back-to-back World Cup in North America with Argentina. That is,
there's no way. I mean,
storybook.
if the last game he's ever playing is for the club, it's for the country.
It's for the country.
Yeah, it's not going to be for a club. It's going to be for a country.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to say farewell after a big game against the Minnesota United.
I don't see him retiring wearing pink and black. I don't see that. He's gonna wear the light blue and white of Argentina. But it's just something to consider. If he still wants to play,
you still got that fire,
and the fact that you know that one of the games is going to be played in your home country before it goes to Europe, that's big.
Spain is number 2 right now. Of course, they got Yamal and that whole. France is number 3. They dropped a little bit. England number 4. Brazil number 5. Brazil has been having some rough times. They got the new coach though. They got your guy from Real Madrid.
Yes.
Netherlands, Portugal,
Carlo,
Belgium,
Ancelotti.
Italy, Germany. Of course, you're not hearing from the United States. Let's see. Just keep going down. Okay, United States 16th, right behind Japan, but ahead of Mexico.
I don't know if I'm happy about that because you should be 32 teams in the World Cup. So you pretty much they just said you're mediocre. You're like the Miami Dolphins of football.
Man, don't ruin this for me. I got so much.
You see the parallel.
Got time, man. Do you want to know where Côte d'Ivoire is? No, you don't want to know.
Ivory Coast. I don't even know where Ivory Coast is located.
No, I said, do you know they're ranked? Man, Ghana has really fallen. Remember, there was a time when Black Star was one of the most powerful, if not, it was the most powerful African team, but one of the more powerful teams in the world. They're 76th now.
I remember Black Star with Mos Def and Talib Kweli.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about White Men Can't Jump. Got to shoot a hook shot. Really? Nah, not on that. On Black Star, Ghana. He goes, you want me to punt it up there, man? I don't know. This is the hook, baby. This is the hook. I have no idea who sings that song.
Neither do I.
I'd have to look up the White Men Can't Jump soundtrack. Not right now. It's not time.
Boy.
Neither time nor place. Maybe later. Fort Lauderdale St. Thomas Aquinas won its first state baseball title since 2018, defeating Gainesville Buckholz 8-3 in the 6A final. So congratulations to those guys. How's Scotty Scheffler doing?
He had bogey the first hole, and then he birdied the second hole. So he's even after 2. He is shooting 11 under for the tournament. 4 strokes up on second place. What's his name? Alex Noren. He's won over. He also bogeyed the first hole and he didn't birdie the second.
John Rahm
Rahm's making a move, bro.
He's lurking.
John Rahm is making a move.
Lurking. I mean, he's still 5 shots behind, but he's lurking.
Give Harris English credit. He shot a crazy 6 under today. So right now he's tied with Rahm at 6 under, which is 3rd place. But he's done.
Did Jonathan Vegas from Ecuador, did he just fall off? He was leading after 2 days, and now he's
Jonathan Vegas is 5 under.
Jonathan.
He shot 7 under in the first round, but he shot 1 under in the second round. He shot 2 over.
Oh, he's not that bad. I guess Scheffler just had such a great day yesterday.
And he's shooting 1 over for the day.
Yeah.
No, Scheffler had a crazy round yesterday, bro. He shot 6 under, but it was that back 9 was ridiculous.
John Rahm's just steady. Making par.
You gotta make birdies. Now he's 5 strokes back.
Yeah.
There was a time he was only 4 strokes back. He made up 2 holes after that that first hole where Scheffler bogeyed. But like I told you yesterday, man, it's Scheffler, bro. He's the best golfer in the world.
Please believe. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a step into the day spa. 30-year-old British woman recently found out what abrosexual means, and she realizes she's abrosexual. So what abrosexual means is just that throughout your life, you will shift from being, whether it be hetero to bi to homosexual. Just your preference shifts.
You bar hopping.
Vocabulary can be shifty too, you know?
So she's bar hopping.
I think, what's the word? Pan? Would that be it just means you like what you like. If you like somebody, you like somebody.
Fam, the only sexual I know is hetero. That's what I am. That's all I care about.
Yeah, I believe that. I was just saying, she found out abro, and now she's abrosexual.
Good for her.
I mean, yeah, I'm all for anybody as long as they don't hurt themselves and other people, especially. Do their thing.
Eat a cookie.
Eat a cookie is what I always tell people. Eat a cookie. All right. Next segment, we're going to come back. We're going to get into some all-time great Game 7s here in South Florida because we got a Game 7 tonight between the Panthers and the Toronto Maple Leafs, 7:30, 560 WQAM.
WQAM broadcast.
talk to me, man.
Take a little stroll down memory lane. Hopefully we can make some memories tonight. Game 7, Florida Panthers versus Toronto Maple Leafs, 7:30 Scotia Bank Arena in Toronto. We've had a lot of great Game 7s throughout sports history, but especially even here in South Florida. Most recently, last year, Stanley Cup Finals, Edmonton Oilers, Amerant Bank Arena. We went up 3-0.
Yo, come on, man.
They come back 3-0.
That is the game that everybody was nervous for. That's the one I remember. It's funny that we were about to, come up to its 1 year anniversary, but I remember that Monday morning, bro. I remember that Monday morning of Game 7. You could, boy, you talking about tight cheeks?
Mm-hmm.
What?
You don't want to be on the wrong side of history. You want to be on the right side of history.
Especially that one. Wait, were the Panthers up 3-0?
Panthers were up 3-0.
Yo, yeah. Panthers were up 3-0, and they lost 3 in a row. And that Game 7, I ain't gonna hold you for us. Everybody had tight asses, man.
This is when I knew everyone was really, really tight. About a couple of months before that, Leroy Horde, who works right here at 560 WQAM from 10 to 2, zero chance the Celtics are going to win Game 7 against the Heat. In professional sports, it's almost a zero chance that anybody will ever come back from a 3-0 deficit in the playoffs, much less late in the playoffs. That day, Panthers don't win today. They're on the wrong side of history. I was like, what happened to zero chance, Leroy? Help me out, bro. I was like, everybody's nervous. I was nervous. Am I nervous about tonight? I'm confident, but I'm a little nervous.
I'm even more confident they're winning tonight because you just reminded me. When was the last time I was really nervous for the Panthers? Yeah, Game 7.
So,
you didn't want to be on. You're so right, because they didn't want to be on the right on that bad side of history.
And
then you lose your Stanley Cup at home.
You basically handed away a Stanley Cup trophy.
Could you imagine seeing Connor McDavid at the elbow room with the Stanley Cup?
And you can't really say anything about it.
And you can't say anything to him?
You're like, we did have a 3-0 lead, bro. I'm not buying you a beer, but...
Dr. Toboggan, it was the tightest minute and a half ever. I ain't gonna hold you. Oh, man.
Got the first goal.
I was nervous, but you should have seen the other press members. Like, they had tight asses.
Your life work is on the line. I know you're not a member of the team, but part of your life's work, if you're a press member that's covered the Panthers for any while, is on the line. You don't get to cover championships every day.
No, so that's why I think today Panthers fans are confident that they will win because of what they saw them have to go through last season.
Now, one of the other great Game 7s, and all time, I really think, but especially here in South Florida, 1997, Florida Marlins, Cleveland Indians, World Series, 11 innings, Edgar Renteria, 3-2. That game was unbelievable, man.
That was a terrible series with the umpires and the weather.
Yeah, but man.
But Levon was unbelievable. And Edgar Renteria.
Unbelievable game. Unbelievable.
Extra inning walk-off.
You want to get some more Panthers Game 7? 1996. They defeated the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Wasn't our boy Bill Lindsay on that team?
Bill Lindsay was most likely on that team. Yeah, he just had his birthday yesterday. He was 54. So that put it back. 96. Ooh, yeah.
That would have been almost 30 years ago. That's 29 years ago.
So, yeah.
Damn, that's a long time ago.
Tom Fitzgerald rocketed the go-ahead goal early in the third period and assisted on the insurance with 2:37 left as goalie John Van Beesbrook starred.
The Beezer.
In goal against future Hall of Famers on the other side on that Penguins team.
Kelly Rudy?
Mario Lemieux, Yagomir Yager and company.
Oh, I didn't know who was behind net for them.
Whew. I don't want to grind the knife too much, so I'll be.
I know what you're going to see. 1997, Miami Heat, New York Knicks.
Fair on both sides, though.
Heat was up 3 games to. Knicks were up 3 games to 1, and Charlie Ward got side 2 flex by P.J. Brown, and then many Knicks players got off the bench because that's how we do. It's 1 for all for one, and the league and David Stern suspended players on both teams, but mostly on the Knicks and the Miami Heat, who already won Game 5. Game 5, y'all dog walked us in that game, but Game 6 at the Garden. A lot of major players on the Knicks roster who did not play that game. And Tim Hardaway was phenomenal in Game 7. Oh my God. I think Tim got earned his nickname as one of the best playoff performers off that game. I think he dropped 38 on them, like 38 points, 10 assists. It was just Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway destroyed the Knicks in that game. But then the following year, y'all lost.
2000, New York Knicks, Heat, 83-82 in the Eastern Conference semi.
Yeah. Who missed that shot? Was it Clarence Weatherspoon?
Clarence Weatherspoon.
Yeah.
Just after Jamal Mashburn passed to Weatherspoon instead of taking the shot.
I remember.
From basically the same spot. With 10 seconds remaining.
I remember.
You don't win them all, but hopefully the Panthers can win them all. Can't forget about Marlins Chicago Cubs 2003, 9-6.
Well, we could talk about Game 7, but what we really need to talk about is Game 6, which got us to Game 7.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, Steve Bartman, baby.
Steve Bartman. You and I are going to be at the Marlins Cubs game. Maybe we can relive. Well, I don't want to relive that moment.
Maybe Steve Bartman's at the game. Maybe he had to move down to Miami and then, root for the Cubs.
He's not hated down here.
No, he's loved. They should have a statue outside.
I wouldn't go that far.
Why not? It was his era.
Pat on the back.
His era that had Moises Alou was so upset. Oh my God.
Whoa.
He was so
That game was over, man. That game was over.
Dude, I felt bad for him because it was like, what is he supposed to do? He's a fan. He's listening to the game on his headphones.
That was true. He's listening on the old headphones.
He's like,
man.
he's just thinking this is a foul ball. He's not thinking that the ball's in play and Moises Alou's going after it. And then Lord and behold, that was the first sign of many bad things to happen to the Cubs in that inning. And Marlins took advantage of it. And guess what? You still had a chance to win Game 7. You had Kerry Wood going in Game 7.
Yes, you did. Mr. Strikeout King himself.
And you choked.
You did. You did. 2012, Heat defeat the Boston Celtics 101-88 in the Eastern Conference Finals. The score 73-73 at the end of 3.
Well, another game that in order to talk about it, you have to talk about the game before.
Where LeBron just took over?
The look like, this is it. I'm sick of y'all. You're about to understand who I am, what I am. I'm the best damn player in the game. And I'm going to show you why. That 45, 15, and 7 was just, oh.
But you want to talk about magnificent.
That was ridiculous, man.
In the Game 7, end of 3, 73-73. You want your big three to step up?
And they did.
How about LeBron, 11 points? How about Dwayne Wade, 9? How
They
about
did.
Chris Bosh, 8? Scoring all of Miami's 28 fourth quarter.
Dude, Brown was
points.
sick in that series, Dan. Like, I remember he had a 3 from like 30 feet from the left elbow in the fourth quarter. Like, he went on a 3-point barrage, and then he had a dunk, and that dunk was like the final nail on the coffin. But yeah, those last 2 games that the Miami Heat played, the LeBron played in that 2012 Eastern Conference Final, unbelievable. Best game, probably Game 6, and then that Game 7, Wade, Bosh, Bron, the big 3.
Let's
put them away.
Let's talk about another Game 6 and Game 7.
Oh, Spurs.
2013. Of course, Game 7, the Heat defeat the San Antonio Spurs 95-98, but you cannot have a Game 7 without a Game 6.
Chris Bosh rebounds, LeBron James missed. Ray Allen just goes quickly behind the 3-point line and shoots it over Manu, ties the game. Heat win Game 6 in overtime. And Game 7, the biggest jumper of his life against Kawhi Leonard. LeBron James hits the jumper. Game 7. I think that they won 93-88. He dropped like 37.
95-88.
Oh, 95-88.
And James, you want big production from your biggest stars. James in those Game 6 and 7, 69 points. Big shots too.
That boy good in Game 7. He might be the best Game 7 player out there.
He is something.
Yeah, it's been a lot of great moments in Game 7s down here in South
Let me
Florida.
give you one more. And this one, it's more recent, and it's absolutely glorious.
Not Edmonton.
No. The year before,
Boston
Bruins. The big
the
Boston
3-1,
Bruins.
the 3-1 comeback.
They're up 3-1. You and I walk out of the building.
We walked out of Game
and
4
I
saying, we're not coming back here again.
specifically told you.
You did. You said that.
If this is the rebuild, I want nothing to do with it.
Oh,
I
you were
was
done with Paul
furious.
Maurice. You were done with the
We
whole
got
squad.
beat up on the ice. We got beat up with their fists. We got beat up on the scoreboard. And I said 3-1 against the best regular season team of all time. And Paul Maurice is trying to sell me we're a playoff team.
And then 2 games later, you were back at Amerant Bank Arena for Game 6, rooting them
then-
on. And then they beat, and they saying, oh my God, they're going to Game 7 in Boston.
And then you go to Game 7 and you're down by 1 with about a minute left. And you're saying, I'm sorry, 59.3 left. And you're saying, all of that for nothing.
So that's why you shouldn't have any doubt.
So hold on tonight.
with this team.
This team knows how to find ways. Carter Verhaeghe took a pass from Sam Bennett, beat Swayman, right circle, boom. Carter Verhaeghe could be big tonight. He's a clutch player, man. I'm keeping my eyes on old Carter Verhaeghe. And then just trying to hold on. That was one of the great moments. I thought it was over. 59 seconds left. Get a goal. All of a sudden, you look around, you say, wait a second. You win that game, you go, Paul Maurice might be onto something. All right, you're right. Yeah, maybe I overreacted. So tonight, I'm not overreacting to anything.
You overreacted?
I'm riding through the whole thing. Come hell or high water, just ride the waves tonight, man. That's all you can really do, Vlad. But some historic Game 7s here in just South Florida. Tonight could be another chapter added to that book.
Listen, it's going to be a long time if the Panthers get eliminated.
August 31st.
We're not going to have it August 31st.
Notre Dame, Miami.
Sorry, Marlins. I mean, I'm just keeping it.
Let's see if they're winning right now. 5-1. All right. Well, maybe the Marlins will save us. I know. We'll have fun with the Marlins, but as far as high intensity playoff caliber games with a lot on the line, we'll see. Going to close things out next here on 560 WQAM. Feeling good, feeling excited about a Game 7 tonight up in Toronto. Scotia Bank, Toronto Maple Leafs, and our Florida Panthers. Paul Maurice and the Panthers have a record. When their backs are up against the wall or when they must go, they go. We got Game 7 starting right now in Oklahoma City between the Thunder and the Nuggets.
Aaron Gordon giving it a go.
Is he in the starting lineup?
He's in the starting lineup, but he has a grade 2 strain.
That's
the hamstring.
Thing. I'm from that old school, or maybe that school. I don't even know if it's old school, that you got to give it a chance, though. Maybe you go out there for a play or two and you can't do it, just fall down or call a timeout. Or
Denver's got a chance.
Tell your ref, or tell your coach, say, look, man, I gave it a shot. I tried. I'm hurting my team now. And I don't think anybody holds you from that. That's a huge foul right off the bat.
And I'm glad you said ref. You made a mistake of saying ref, because Scott Walker's is the referee, the main referee, and he's gonna always give the road team a chance up until the final 5 minutes of the game. Then he's just gonna call everything fair and square. But he does look out for the road team in any critical games.
And you're calling Scotty Scheffler the winner of the PGA Championship already,
dude. He's up 5.
He is up 5. He's got a ways to go.
He's up 5 after 4. He gained 2 strokes in 5 holes. Yeah, it's Scotty's year, man.
Great player. Somebody said, look, the 305-567-0560, the number to text in. 754 says, look at the wife of the jockey who won the Preakness yesterday. Well, let's do it then.
Is she taller than him?
Preakness winner wife. I'm sure it'll be massively good. Kimberly Moss. I don't know. Oh, I see her. Okay, cool.
Oh, wait. The way you saying it makes it seem like she's not all that.
You like what you like. Okay. Oh, she is taller than him. Yes, she is taller. She's a head taller than him. They got 2 kids. Man, she is really taller than him. And that's weird. Not weird. It's just, wow. Like their family pictures, it looks like she has 3 kids at some points. Because she got 2 little babies, and then she's got a smaller husband. He's a jockey, though. That's his job. It's weird, Vlad. It's weird. I think you could probably look up any jockey and his wife, and at least professional jockey, and be like, whoa, don't want to be heavy on the horse. Ooh, man. Whew, man. So Game 7s, another chapter will be written tonight for the Florida Panthers in the history of Game 7s in South Florida in the NHL. We went through some of the stats and facts. Once again, long-term.
Oh, my God. She towers over him.
Long-term, but one game can be one game. And we've seen some crazy things happen in Game 7s. I've seen unpredictable things happen in Game 7s. I think the first time I ever saw something that was really unpredictable in Game 7, I want to say it was Orlando Magic and Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals. It was Shaq's second year. And I was like, there's no way the Orlando Magic are going to beat the Indiana Pacers. Shaq's only in his second year. Yeah, they're kind of just building the team, and they went down there and skull drug the Pacers.
Oh, wait. What year was that? 95?
94, 5, something like that. Yeah. And that's when I realized Game 7.
Yeah, that was Shaq's second.
Yeah,
Shaq was 93.
Oh, yeah, with the first pick in the 1993.
No, 92. Shaq 92.
So it was 92.
So it was his third year.
Oh, it was third year? I mean, once again.
Third year with his third year when him and Penny got there, and then that's when they lost.
The memories.
But no, you're right, though. They did lose to the Pacers in the year prior.
Okay.
Because the Pacers had the experience against them. It was the first time Orlando got to the playoffs, and I think Indy got them out in 4. That's why it was very important for them to get Indy out.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Shaq's first year, they didn't make the playoffs.
They didn't make the playoffs. They
one game away,
41.
And they got the lottery ball.
Shockingly, and they drafted Chris Webber,
Mullins,
then traded him to Golden State for Anthony Penny.
If they drafted Chris Mullins, that would be a terrible mistake.
Yeah, they got Penny, and Penny and Shaq were supposed to be the new Showtime Lakers, Magic and Kareem.
So they had a little bit of a growing pain that first year, made the playoffs, lost to Indiana. They
lost the playoffs in 94. And in 95, they beat Michael Jordan and the Bulls in the second round, and then they beat Indiana, the ECF, and then they got mollywopped by the Houston Rockets,
which they were whooping them in Game 1. And then
Orlando was winning. They were whooping them. And Nick Anderson choked those 4 free throws of Rap City, baby.
You're leaving out some details, but yes, Orlando was
What?
whooping
Kenny Smith
them.
hitting 6 3-pointers?
Kenny Smith and the Rockets started showing experience and coming back, and then
Then Nick Anderson had a chance to win the game, and he choked 4 free
and then
throws.
You're like, all you got to do is hit a couple free throws, and you're out of here. Nick Anderson missed all
choked.
4 of them, and then
He
it was
choked.
just from there, it was just done.
He choked.
It was absolutely done.
He choked. And you know why people wanted him to – we're happy that he choked, right? Because he made that comment about Mike. 45 is not 23 used to just was like a runway jet. He just used to take off. 45 is not the same. And then that's when Mike wore the 23, even though he had 45. The league just fined him, but it was like a little spank, a little slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
So then you know what happened in 96. That's when they went 72-10 and manhandled Orlando in the ECF.
Yes.
So
gonna be some tight times tonight, but like I said, just ride the waves. Florida Panthers, they've been here before. They know what they're doing, and you just got to trust in Paul Maurice, Matthew Tkachuk, Sergei Bobrovsky, Niko Mikola, I think Nikola Jokic,
Gustav Forsling,
maybe some Evan Rodriguez. I'd like to see us.
I'm still
full
looking
stream.
up, man. I've been checking. He still have like reports of him from like 3 days ago. I mean, from from
You know how
game
hockey
6.
guys are. They're usually, well, they announced that he wasn't playing the other day pretty early. So sometimes I'm guessing they're keeping it tight to vest in game 7 with the razor thin margin of any way you can possibly win or lose in those games. Should be exciting. Vlad, are you going to the Twin Peaks for the game, or what are you doing?
Hey, Evan Rodriguez to replace Jesper Boqvist in Panthers lineup for game 7. So guess what? He's a go.
He's a go. And Jesper Boqvist, we know, is a good fill-in. He had a goal in game 5. But we're glad to
Man,
be a
I
full
think
stream.
Evan scores a goal now. Now I'm saying it's 4-1.
Wow.
4-1.
All right.
Yeah, I think he scores a goal. He was so needed in game 6. I really think he was the missing link in game 6. If he's on ice, I think the Panthers win that game. Because he will, to me, he can get a goal. He can score a goal, he can set up his teammate to get a goal. They didn't have nobody like that on game 6 on Friday night.
Paul Maurice said it in game 7. It's a one-game thing, not just one-game series. Everybody gives it their all. They'll worry about the next game, whether it be Tuesday. Is that when game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals is?
Tuesday's game 1, either in Toronto or in Carolina.
Whether your next game is Tuesday or a ton of Tuesdays from now, you're only worried about one game and one game only. You'll deal with the next game later. Got to take it as a challenge. You got to get excited. You got to get stoked up. Game probably won't start at 7:30, probably more like a 7:41 or something like that. So plan
I
accordingly.
don't understand why it wouldn't start at 7:30. They're not going against anything else. Baseball,
Inter Miami,
Sunday night baseball would have started already. Inter Miami
starts at 7 o'clock. They got the Florida Derby against the Orlando City crap team that I don't like very much. Messi going to be playing. Suarez going to be playing. Should be a fun one right there. Going to try to keep an eye on both of them as best I can. I'm getting warmed up right now with this Denver OKC.
They look like they're balling. I can't really. I'm not watching it fully. Once we get off the air, I'm definitely gonna watch. But this looks like it's gonna be a great game 7. Hopefully, you have 2 great games. No, you know what? Hopefully, this is a great game 7, and the Panthers just whip the Maple Leafs ass. I would love to not worry.
I would too.
Not that I'm worried, but I would love to not worry.
To relax and
just
casually
enjoy the
watch
game and be like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I want to casually watch the game, but if you have to, you have to, man. That's all that matters. Just as Al Davis would say for the Raiders, just win, baby. That's what it is all about. We just got to get this win tonight, onward and upward. Carolina Hurricanes waiting in the Eastern Conference. Now we know the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars will be out there in the West. Of course, in NBA, Oklahoma City, Dallas playing right now. Aaron Gordon's giving it a go. He's moving pretty good.
No, he's not, man. That man walking with a ginger limp and everything. He's not moving the way he is.
Just got a tip rebound.
Well,
I mean,
he would have grabbed it with 2 hands before that. He just tipped it because he can't really do much.
Kick them when they're down.
He's limited.
Kick them when they're down. I like the guy. I'm trying to help him out a little bit.
AG, hell of an athlete, and is a tremendous, tremendous player. But what makes him very good is his athleticism. And if he has a strained hamstring, a grade 2, by the way, he's not going to be very useful there.
You just got to rebound again.
And I mean, he's a liability on defense.
I would hope so. I would think so with grade 2 hamstring. It's hard to move around a lot. But game 7, you got to go all in for this one game. Ooh, let's check on the Marlins real quick. 5-1 still. Top of the 8th. Might get a Marlins win today. A Marlins series win in MLB rivalry week against those Tampa Bay Rays. Marlins showing us a little something. Wednesday, Vlad and I will be at the game. 1:10 first pitch against the Chicago Cubs, Lone Depot Park. Should be a fun one. Should be a good one. We'll get it started early in the parking lot somewhere, hanging out with Officer Perez. And then, just kind of take it from there.
I think Trevor's going to join us.
I asked him. He said it depends on what the schedule for the I guess they won't be having a game Wednesday. There's not going to be a game Wednesday, no matter what, for the Florida Panthers, because game 1 is Tuesday. So, yeah, should be good. Should be good. Scotty Scheffler still looking pretty good. John Rahm, though, well, he's not really creeping, but he is currently 5 shots behind. And the deeper this goes, the less and less likely, but that's why you play the game. Tuesday, it's going to be the Western Conference Finals. Wednesday at 8 o'clock, Eastern Conference Finals between the Pacers and the Knicks.
Oh, really? Is that Tuesday's the Western Conference Finals?
Yes.
Damn, they ain't giving those boys no days of rest.
No, man. Finish your series early if you want some rest, is what they say. So you got a big Wednesday coming up. Oh, man, you got a really big Wednesday. You got the baseball game and the basketball game. Got a little time to chill out after the baseball game, and then get that Knicks game going against the Indiana Pacers, which will be in Madison Square Garden.
Yes.
Very nice. And Timberwolves get home court advantage in the West.
No, they don't.
No, that's right. Oklahoma City's the number 1 seed.
No, they don't. The winner of this series is going to have the home court. Denver's ahead of Minnesota as well.
That is true. Okay. I don't know why I was thinking that. Because Minnesota had home court in the last series.
Right, which was shocking because nobody's ever thinking a 6 is going to play a 7.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, all right, Vlad, I wish you best of luck, but I really wish the Panthers best of luck. If you are a fan, ride the waves. It's going to be okay. We're going to get this. 77% confident, 100% confident, Vlad. Let's go, Cats.
Absolutely.
Here. For my cousin, Vladimir Lewisson, I am Dan Day. We'll talk to you next weekend, 560 WQAM.
Later, fools.
Text WQAM on the Kendall Toyota